Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams. From the Bluegrass to the Red Sea, this is the Kingdoms Podcast.
Kingdom. It is Saturday night. Saturday night tailgate. Hey, it's kind of strange, Steve, that everybody's playing football tomorrow but us.
Yeah, we done squandered our first game away. We have to watch everybody else screw up in week one, I guess.
We did. That's the bad thing about playing the opening game on a Thursday is like when everybody starts playing on the weekend, it feels like an eternity since Thursday already. I'm just ready for week 2.
I mean, after a loss like that, you're just ready to get it over with and get on to the next, right?
Chomping at the bit to get back out there and beat some Jacksonville Jaguar ass.
Dude,
that's what I want to do.
We're going to do it, too. I know they're a better team than the Lions. I know they're the superior cat in this fight. But
superior feline.
The superior feline. But we're going to do it. We got to bounce back. We got to smack them in the mouth. We got to get back in the groove of this thing. We got to look like the actual Chiefs and not the fraud Chiefs.
The fraudulent red and gold. We were off like burnt orange. We were burnt orange and maize. We wasn't the red and gold. We were the diet version of the Chiefs to kick off the year.
Something that wasn't good. It was
horrible.
It was the imposters that we've seen over the years. You know, every once in a while, like the second half of the Bengals AFC Championship game 2 years ago, that was the same team. We've seen them against the Colts. We've seen them against other teams as well. So I think I'm done with them this year. Like I'm good if I don't ever see them ever again.
If I don't see the imposter Chiefs for the rest of my life, that'll be too soon. I hate it. I just want them to come out. We told you guys last time, you know, we come out after the game was over and we were like, hey, we seen this. And we were like, but take that with a grain of salt. This is our initial watch. I can't wait to get the all 22 film. I want to dive back in. Steve, have I dove back in, my man? The things I was finding today, what we think we seen, we did not. There was a totally different game being played if you could watch it from an aerial view. We're going to talk about all that tonight. It's kind of breathtaking, some of the stuff I'm going to show you. It really is.
Well, I'm excited to see it because I haven't got to watch the all 22. Been at work, so that sucks. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to watch it and see what happened. I learned a couple things from the game, Mike, and it's not necessarily related straight to the game in particular, but the game did make me find out that 99% of the population that watches football has no ideas what the rules to football are.
Yeah, we're learning
And-
that. I mean, we were exposed to that last year, right? I mean,
So
it was
much
our
worse.
first time kind of interacting a lot with the general public and the kingdom. And I mean, we've been on Twitter here and there, but like getting out here and making videos doing this, boy, you see it a lot, man. It's crazy. It's kind of like watching, it's like if me and you turned on, like, say, hockey. Don't know a lot about it, but boy, we're into it. And it would be like, daggone, what? This guy done this and this. And it's like, I
Right.
don't know anything about hockey. Never even played.
I learned one other thing too. The Imposter Chiefs went out there and gave Detroit Lions and the Detroit Lions fans a false sense of security. Is what
You
they've
think?
done. Yes.
So
Because
you don't think the Lions have a chance to go to the playoffs?
no, they do, but I think they did something. Like they really think they did something. It's like
Oh, no,
They
they're
don't-
proud. They're proud of
They-
themselves.
right, well, I understand being proud of winning, and it was a game to win, national spotlight. But you have to you have to look at it from an outside perspective and not just in your own little bubble because
Right.
the Chiefs played awful. They were god awful. It was one of the worst I've seen the Chiefs in years. On top of that, there was no Kelsey, there was no Chris Jones.
Hey, they were missing Jamison Williams.
They only won by 1 point, and Kadarius Toney swung the game a potential 14 points
Yeah.
for them.
That's true.
So I mean, like, I
Look-
think they have this idea that they just did something fantastic
did.
and great.
Yeah, I think two things can be true.
They might get knocked down to earth next week because they might be riding a high.
Well, I think two things can be true here. I think the Lions didn't play their best game. Okay. The Chiefs definitely didn't play their best game. They kind of won by default. I'll give them that, but I'm not going to take nothing away from them. They can
Won by default.
they can be a good team. That could be a good game, a good win. I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, two things can be true. You can give them credit and say that's a good win, but you can also say, hey, temper the expectations just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I don't think we've seen the Chiefs at full strength. And again, that's not the Lions' fault. They didn't call in and be like, hey, can you sit this guy and this guy for us?
Right.
They didn't do that.
Well, no.
So
I'm
I'll
not
give
trying to
them
take
credit.
I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They got out there and handled business, right? But
Right.
I'm just saying, the way it got handled.
Right. Right. I hear you. Hey, Cole's in the house. He says Matt Nagy got exposed. I know. Look, I'm going through. I know that this is not a serious comment.
No,
I
absolutely. not.
already know it. There's no way. He's probably saying exactly what we've been seeing everywhere, that like Matt Nagy is the huge at fault for everything Chiefs.
It's all Matt Nagy's fault, man. Remember what
Right.
he did with the Bears? Remember what he did with the Bears, Mike?
Right.
That's what he's doing with the Chiefs now.
Wait, here we go. A few comments down. People are going to think my first comment was serious. I've seen that comment 50 times. I already knew it was coming. We've seen that a lot too, man. People are so ready to give up on Matt Nagy like he just did something crazy.
There's just a lot of overreaction across the board, which comes with a bad loss.
Overreaction. Whatever day
Saturday.
it is.
Friday.
Well, they've been saying
Saturday.
it since Friday. So Friday. Overreaction Friday. It's okay, I guess.
I hold the Matt Nagy thing. Like, there's a couple of like things I've seen over and over again that I kind of hold in the same category, and that's one of them. Like, Matt Nagy was exposed; he's bad.
Right.
I
I'm
put
tired
that
of
right
seeing that
there.
one.
I put that in the same category as Sky Moore's awful, and he'll never be good. He's a bust. And I also put it in the same category
We're
as
seeing that one.
is this the fall of the dynasty?
I'm throwing that in the same category as Jawan Taylor was offsides every play. Like, come on. Let's get
Right.
over that. I've got a
Hey.
few things to show people on
Before
that
we
one,
get
by the
there,
way.
we got a 2-bomb from Wayne.
Oh.
Appreciate you, Wayne.
Wayne, 2-bomb.
Yeah, we got to crush Jacksonville and get back on track, man. Because that first game, let's just act like it didn't happen. We need to go 16-0 from here on out and just be over it. That's the plan.
You're right.
Also, Pops with the 5 gifted memberships.
Pops is in the house tonight with
Pops
5
is in
gifted.
here spreading the love for his baby boys.
Pops, we haven't really heard from Pops about the game. It's fun to get Pops, the older generation Chief guy, the one that's watched the first Super Bowl, lived through the horrendous years. He's seen it all, Steve, since the beginning of time. He was there when Jesus was born, and Pops may or may not have found Moses floating down the river. That is how old Pops is. Pops, let us know what you think about the game. Was Kadarius Toney the only reason we lost that game? Was there something else you've seen?
Not the only reason, but he was the reason. Both of those things can be true, I guess.
But congrats, Joaquin Solis, Brett Veach. Brett Veach got a gifted membership from Dad. Dad, thanks for gifting Brett Veach. Michael Daly, Casey Fears, and Bart Harris, all with the new memberships. Welcome to the ACU crew, and thanks, Pops, for the 5 gifted. We appreciate you. I will say this, Steve. You just want to get right in and look at our first play of the night that I've dug up. Do you want to do that? Like, I've got about 5, 6, 7 plays, and
yeah,
we'll just kind of look at one.
Before we jump in, I just wanted to tell everybody thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet, take a second to do that. Looks like we got about a third of the people we normally have on a Saturday night. Let's get the word out that we're on, and appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to talk some Chiefs getting beat by the Lions, sadly and pathetically.
We will. This is at the risk of they're probably going to shut down everything we've ever done and take all of our money away just to show a play of a game. But
don't care.
Yeah, whatever. You want to be like that YouTube, NFL. You want to be greedy. You want to get your greedy little hands on it. You know what? We're trying to expose what really happened. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to bring it up. You let me know if you can see it, if you can't see it, if it needs to go bigger or smaller.
Pretty small.
Okay, that's small, but I'm going to blow that up full screen.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Now you're good. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. This was the first play. This is the first old play, if it'll pause for me, that I've run into here on the offense. You're going to see a little tight formation here. You've got Noah Gray at the bottom. You're going to have Sky in motion, and then you've got, I think that's Pacheco in the backfield because that definitely is not small enough to be Clyde. They're going to send him in motion, and then you're going to see Noah Gray kind of come across the middle, and you're going to see the other 2 guys kind of run like a little out, like the same route, and then you're going to have Richie James going deep. But the thing that you're looking at here is this is man-to-man, and the Lions did not play a lot of man-to-man the other night, so this was a rarity. You got man-to-man with 1 high safety. He is circling green. That is a really horrible circle mark that I made with my stylus. And then the guy in purple there, Anzalone, however he pronounces his name, he's actually going to play a QB spy on Mahomes, which means they were very much prepared for Mahomes getting in and out of the pocket. Very prepared was the Lions. I thought the Lions actually had a pretty good game plan. But I'll roll the play here, and we'll get going. And let's just take a look at this. Sky's in motion. Play action. Okay, and I'll pause it here. What he's looking at right now, to be honest, he could probably dip to Sky, and Sky's going to be one-on-one against this corner coming up right here at the 40. But I get it. That's not his first read. And you're going to learn that Sky's never the first read, ever. Sky's never the first read in this offense. So anyways, we're going to keep going. Boom, right there, you can see it. So everybody, good defense here. The Lions played excellent defense. There's actually a little hold down here on Noah Gray out of the break. Should have been called. That's too much grabbing out of the break. Should have been a penalty. They didn't call it. But again, in the blue, you're going to see Anzalone, whatever his name is. He is actually spying Mahomes. And you're going to see Mahomes got a great pocket here. He could just step up in the pocket. He could take his eyes and he could move the middle linebacker, the spy, out of the way, and he could come right across the middle to Noah Gray. He very much could. So I'm just going to keep it going a little bit. Right there. He could have stepped up in the pocket. He could have hit Noah Gray right there. We could have moved the chains. Instead, Mahomes does the Mahomes thing. He senses a little bit of pressure, and he decides to roll out to the right. He loses everything. Here comes Anzalone on a just screaming the spy, and the spy actually gets to him, crushes him. He has to throw it. out. And I'll let it play one more time just in its entirety so we can see it now without me talking. You're going to see Mahomes. He could very well step up in the pocket right here and hit Noah Gray, and he just does not want to do it. And he throws the ball away. So that was the first play that I seen, and basically the only thing I want to take out of that is that is just a precursor for how big of a day Noah Gray could have had. Noah Gray could have had 200 receiving yards if
Could have had himself a day.
If Mahomes would have looked at him, and to be honest, we were right.
Well,
we
Mike,
said Noah Gray is going to have a big day.
I've had this sneaking suspicion after watching that game and just the way it felt. I was like, did we see the Mahomes that was like not taking the open throws because he wanted to get more yardage? Like, were we seeing old Mahomes like from a year and a half ago, like where he just had to try to press too much? Did he feel like because Kelsey wasn't there, he had to press? I don't know. Right. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We got more, but we're not going to just run it down your throat.
We got $3.99 from Casey. Appreciate you, Casey.
I
saw your comment where you said, thanks for getting you through the loss, man. We tried to get everybody together and just talk it out and cope with a little bit. It is what it is, though. It sucks any which way you look at it, but hey, we can take a deeper look and see what actually happened. And I'm sure the Chiefs will do the same thing. They'll bounce back next week against Jacksonville. Also got a 2-bomb from Enrique. Appreciate you, Enrique. Thanks for the support, my man. And then Night Hunter with the 5 bombs. Says ACU and HBTC hanging out. Heck yeah, appreciate you, Night Hunter. So thank you guys. Put some legendaries catch-ups in the chat for Night Hunter, Casey, Enrique, and Wayne, please.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thanks for the support. We appreciate you guys for real.
Also,
that was it. Go
quick.
ahead.
HG fans been a member for 2 months now. Says, can we please get rid of the tight end under center plays? It never works. Absolutely. Just get it over with. Like, never again. Yeah. Everyone knows what's coming when you're doing that. Stop.
Right.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Night Hunter says mistakes were made by Mahomes included. By all Mahomes included. Yes.
For sure.
When I went back and watched all 22, Patrick Mahomes, tons of mistakes. Patrick Mahomes was definitely his first game of the season. You could tell, but he very much was not sharp. He's probably kicking himself the entire week. They're watching the same film we are. K Wayne, hope you're doing good out there. He says Noah Gray's a career backup, but I'm going to tell you something, K Wayne.
If they don't throw him the ball.
Kevin, yes, I thought that Noah Gray just kind of went out and was average. When I watched the all 22, and I'm going to show you some plays tonight that is going to change your mind on this a little bit. If he had been wearing number 87 and Mahomes would be looking to throw him the ball, Kelsey would have had 200 yards. So Gray would have had it as well, but he just did not look to Noah Gray. Patrick Mahomes played a little favorites. He really did. He got a little tunnel vision. I was starting to even wonder if maybe he was told not to have certain reads, and he was just told to take shot here. Don't look nowhere else, just take your shot. Don't do this, just throw here. He did that a lot. It's like he didn't look through progressions a lot. We'll get to a lot of it. And again, nobody knows. I'm not going to blame anybody because I don't know if Mahomes was told that. I don't know if Andy Reid told him that. I don't know if Mahomes just did it. So I'm not going to be like, Mahomes needs to do this, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he was told to do that. And there's some plays where I'm going to show you guys. But I hope that by doing this, that at least we can all look at the game and we can say, hey, this is a little different than what I thought initially. Because to be honest, me and you thought the offensive line struggled a lot. They didn't do as bad as you would think.
No, well, I think that came with a lot of overhyping Aiden Hutchinson, right? So, like, you kind of had this vibe that he was just tearing the team apart when really he was just doing a lot of spins in a circle.
Well, I've got that play, and we're actually going to go through that play. And to be honest, he did lose contain on that play. He really did.
Did you see what I put? Did you see what I put on Twitter?
I seen where you said he lost contain, give up the first down. But I will tell you this: after going back and watching that play from the booth, he better be glad he lost contain because that was the least of his worries. If he would not have gotten Mahomes' face, Mahomes had a bomb. And so again, it's perception. It's what you think you see at the time and then what you see from the aerial view. And I want to show you guys tonight. I think it's interesting. If you guys don't like this kind of stuff, sorry. I mean, just let us know. We won't do it anymore. But I personally like this kind of stuff. I know Daniel Harms does it over with RGR. I like watching Daniel. He's got a good eye. I just think it's fun that me and you dig into it and do it a little bit. And of course, they'll say, hey, Mike and Steve, you're not as smart. Shut up. And you know what I'll say? I'll say, yeah, you're probably right. But I can show you anyway. But yeah, man, let's read a few more comments, talk to the people, and then I'll show another play. How's everybody doing tonight, by the way? We got 110 people in here, 53 likes. So let's go ahead and hit that like button, man. We're going to give a poster away at 150 likes tonight. 150. Why did we go up from 100 to 150? Because I'm running out of poster tubes, and they're expensive, and I'm tired of buying them. Okay, so that's why we're doing it. We're going to give away a poster at 150 because it's free to hit the like button. Okay, I don't know. It's just free. But yeah, and if you haven't subbed already, hit that sub button, hit the bell. We like to talk Chiefs football. So yeah, Steve, this is it, man.
Let's take a look at it. I just want to see.
You want to take another look?
I mean,
Okay,
like I said, I haven't got to see any of it. So like,
Right.
I didn't get to come in and watch the all 22 today. I had to come in and get straight on here. So I haven't got to really look at it. So I'm
Right.
excited to see what you found because
Okay.
You wouldn't tell me earlier. You're like, I'm not telling you what I saw because I don't want to sway what
and
you
look,
see.
Let's
and then I didn't
preface
get to watch
this,
it.
by the way, too. You know me. I watch games and watch film a lot because I dig into. Well, first of all, I played, so I'm used to doing that and watching offensive line. Basically, that's where I played. But other than that, like I'll watch a lot of film for college games, and so I like doing this. You don't necessarily love that aspect of it because I'll dig in really deep and get really nerdy. But so you can back me here. You know what I mean? Like what I see is, I'm decently.
I'll be
like-
the guy that's like,
Right.
Mike.
Yeah, you be the guy that tells
Stop.
me because
You're
we're
being boring.
going to dig into your favorite Kadarius Toney play too, where we had the little argument yesterday.
Yeah, I think I you know, I did go back and rewatch that because of the talk we had.
Right.
And let me tell you what I saw when I went back and watched it. Richie James ran the wrong route and busted the entire play up. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, we'll get to that, and I'll remember exactly what you just said. But let me go. Let's go ahead and share my screen again, and we'll get into play number 2. Here we go. Let's see if this works. You should see the little screen again. So there we go. Now let me blow this up. Okay, well, first I'll read what it says. Jet sweep here to Sky Moore. That's what you're going to see is the jet sweep. So here we go.
If I ever have to see another jet sweep on 3rd and short.
Right, I'm so tired of it.
Good God.
But by the way, you're going to see Rashee Rice in blue. And I point out Rashee Rice because you'll see your linemen here. They've got 3 linemen here, and basically – I want to say Hutchinson's out here on the edge. So Hutchinson's in a 9 technique all the way to the right on the outside of Blake Bell. And you've actually got number 41 here coming off that edge. And I'm pretty sure that's Houston. So they've got 2 defensive ends coming off 9 techniques, but they've actually got 3 down linemen here. So they're stacking the line. They knew this was going to be a run. We were telegraphing stuff all night.
Yeah.
And it's before. Don't say, oh, Juwan Taylor did it because he's got his hand in the dirt. That was the dumbest thing I've ever watched in my life, was watching that guy try to explain Juwan Taylor tipping plays. Everybody does that, by the way. But here we go. Rice is going to have to seal block number 41, and he does a heck of a job, by the way. But what you're going to watch here on this, I'm going to go ahead and roll the play. You're going to see, here's his motion, and he takes it. So right here, you see Toney on his block. Look at Rashee Rice getting ready to hit 41. I'm going to go a little bit further. Boom. He seals off that big old defensive end. Rashee Rice, a rookie, out there just blocking. Now look at this. You've got a linebacker in the middle of the field just hightailing it over. He's on the logo. And then you've got a safety coming down. Number 2, that is Donovan Smith, number 79's man. Donovan Smith has to put a hand on him. Here we go. I run it. I pause it here to show you. That's the guy he's got to hit. He misses him. He just whiffs him, and he gets the tackle.
Right.
He whiffs him. And then Smith claps his hands in frustration.
Yeah, he knew. But, I mean, this is the kind of play, Mike, I'm just going to go ahead and butt in. Like,
Go for it.
it's kind of hard for a left tackle to have the agility to block a shifty safety coming in. So that's not necessarily the best position to be putting him in.
It's not, but that's what this offense requires. And that's
I
why
get it.
Orlando
I
Brown
get it.
Jr. was.
But I think
and look,
that's the
he
problem
only has to get in his way. Just get in his way. He just kind of reaches his hand out and misses him. But I'm telling you, if he gets
ran
that,
further than he's ran in
Right.
20 years, Mike. He's probably out of breath.
but the point is if Donovan Smith puts a hand on him, Sky Moore, for everybody saying he sucks, could have probably been scoring 6. He's probably in the end zone, right?
Well, let's just get this straight before we move on. If Sky Moore was utilized correctly and given the ball in space, you'd have a whole different thought about what Sky Moore could do.
Right. But that's that play. I'll go ahead and we'll pull off. I'm not going to just play everybody to death, but that's the first two plays. Anything weird about those plays? Not really. I just kind of showing what happened because we thought
Right.
the offensive
It was
line
just-
looked bad run
you're-
blocking.
You're showing poor execution, which
Yes.
is what killed the Chiefs.
Exactly.
I know it sucks that Kelsey wasn't there. I know it sucks that Chris Jones was in the stands. A lot of things went wrong, but what it really boils down to, it don't matter
Right.
who you put on the field, you got to execute, and they
Yeah.
didn't do that.
And
They
I'm with
did not.
Chieffer here. Chieffer says just get your hands on him. That's all he has to do. Put a hand out, knock him off his you know what I mean? Just get him off of his line. Just for a second, and Sky Moore maybe is sitting in the end zone, and we're looking at this whole game a lot differently. But the big thing there I wanted to show was just Rashee Rice. I thought he blocked well. Rashee Rice looked good to be a rookie. Like, I wouldn't have known he was a rookie the other night. I've actually got the Sky Moore or the Rashee Rice touchdown. We'll look at that in a minute, too.
Maybe you can
so.
answer this for me too. It's something else I wanted to go back and watch all 22 for. Why did they go away from Rashee Rice? I felt like he was loading up to have a pretty good game, and then it was like invisible all of a sudden.
So many things. I was watching. Okay, a lot of people were like, look, Rashee Rice, or not Rashee Rice, Sky Moore was ineffective. Justin Watson was ineffective. MVS was ineffective. And then everybody was like, well, Justin Ross, he only had 6 plays. He had 1 catch for 8 yards, blah, blah, blah. Justin Ross, I mean, he didn't get to play a lot. And when he was in, he was only open on 2 out of the 6. So it's not like he was just out there just like burning it up. Now, Mahomes does miss him for one that would have been really nice. So, see, the moral of the story is we blamed a lot of the receivers, and Mahomes just kind of missed a lot. Like, because we kept saying all night.
I had a bit of like I said, I had a sneaking suspicion that he was trying to press.
Right. We were like, look, is the receivers just not getting open? Is the offensive line doing this? And I find a few plays where the offensive line, like that was one where the run blocking looked pretty bad. I've got one with Jawan Taylor. It's the one you called out with the hutch, the whole spin move thing. There's a couple where Joe Tooney, I'm telling you, I don't know how Joe Tooney got the PFF highest grade of the day. That's not saying good out of our guys. A couple plays Joe Tooney just got destroyed on. I'm going to bring those up, but I just think it was poor execution all the way around. But it's good to see this kind of stuff because, again, on that play, like we're here, like we're ravaging Sky Moore. And it's like, I went back and watched it, and Sky Moore was open on a few plays, and Mahomes just didn't throw it to him.
Right.
Sky Moore caught a nice ball there in the fourth quarter on the final drive that moved the chains, and it got wiped away with the holding call on Donovan Smith. Everybody forgot that Sky Moore made that play.
Right.
So we only want to focus on negative, not positive. And I'm just trying to say, hey, look, this is what's really happening. Let's
Right.
look at it. And
Can we look at that last play again? I see where Night Hunter said he thinks that Smith didn't do well, but maybe Moore overran the play. Like,
okay, I'll bring it
let's
back
check
for
that.
you.
I just want to see if that actually happened or not.
This is why I like doing this kind of stuff, especially live, because we can just answer
Right.
questions and
I mean,
everybody
is
can look
it-
at this.
Is it
I
Sky
like
Moore
it.
getting a little
Can you see the
overambitious
screen?
here? Sky Moore's so fast, though.
Well, look, here's the
That's
thing.
one
Okay,
thing.
I'm going to pause it here. The play's designed to get to the outside. So you can't see. You can see his little foot on the left. I think that's Richie James. He's still blocking.
It's a
so
little
the
foot.
So the whole thing right here. Okay. So you'll see his foot right there. He's sealing. Rashee Rice seals, and you're just supposed to follow 79.
Yeah, let's see if he outran him.
So that's his thing. So 79 is supposed to cut up right now and hit that. Actually, he could have ran on the outside of 79. So if anything, he underran him.
Well, I think he underran him because he was anticipating for Donovan Smith to be where he's supposed to be.
Right. I think both kind of messed up. But I see
Yeah.
the thing, and that's what I'm saying. Football's it's a game of inches, to be honest. But yeah, Moore kind of does run inside. I think he kind of hits the hole. I think Smith kind of overruns it, to be honest. But because obviously Smith does something wrong. Smith's the one that reacts. Watch him. He knows he missed the block. Smith knows he misses it. So
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obvious. I was just trying to see. I thought that was an interesting point by Night Hunter, so I just wanted to check it and see it because it would be normal for a young guy like Sky Moore to overrun.
100%. There's
So I just wanted to
all
check
the
it.
time. All the time. Well, while I'm here, let's run into another play here. Why not? So on this one, let me see which play this one was. Here's the one you were talking about. So you got Hutch over here in the Hutchinson's on the outside in the 9 technique, right? So he's in yellow, and you got Jawan Taylor in blue. So again, this is the play you talked about where Hutch hits him with a spin move. There it is.
Is
Spin
the
move.
double spin.
And he doubles
Yeah.
back, and Mahomes takes off running.
Right.
Okay, look. He breaks contain. He 100% breaks contain.
And
He
gave
gives
up a
Mah-
first down.
He gives the first down. But if you go back and you watch this, okay, here's the play. Noah Gray down here on the bottom, he's going to run a nice little, like, you know, like an in route pretty late in the field or whatever. If he does not spin move and Jawan Taylor loses him inside like that and causes Mahomes to have to break pocket, Mahomes could sit in the pocket and probably hits he probably hits Noah Gray here for at least 20, 25. Look,
God
Noah Gray's
bless.
wide open. Now, look, if he's not running because of him hitting him with that inside spin move, look, if you notice, Mahomes is broken the
Right.
pocket.
Mahomes loves to get
Right.
out to the right side of the field.
If Mahomes would have, so if Taylor would have held up and Mahomes would have sat in the field, he can look at him. And if you notice, all the linebackers at the top, none of their focus is there. So number 2 coming down, the safety, and number 23 is the only 2 that would have been anywhere close to Noah Gray. Again, Noah Gray, he's 6 yards past the line of scrimmage, or not the line of scrimmage, but the line to gain. And maybe he breaks a tackle. We've seen it happen earlier, but again, just another example where Noah Gray is wide open, guys. And so it's not necessarily Noah Gray's fault. He's wide open, and Mahomes, not because of just Mahomes, but Jawan Taylor, that one little mistake of letting him see he takes too much step outside. Hutch hits him with one on the inside. He loses it for a minute. He does a good job of gaining himself, but if Patrick Mahomes don't evade the pocket, he's hitting him.
Right. No way for Patrick Mahomes to know that Jawan Taylor was going to recover like that. So, I mean, he had to duck out.
No. So, well, if he wouldn't have ducked out, Jawan Taylor couldn't have recovered like that because it called Hutch to spin back. So, again, you were right. Hutch did break contain and gives Mahomes the first down.
Right. That was my point. It was like everybody was praising this play by Hutch. And I was.
But it was a good play because, like I just showed, if he sits in the pocket, you're hitting Noah
I
Gray
get it.
for the obvious first down.
But he got fancy and he gave up a first down, and everybody was just talking about how great he was. So I was just pointing out a fact, you know.
Right. But, yeah, right there. I mean, look at that. If Mahomes is in the
I
pocket,
don't
he hits
think
Noah Gray right there.
I don't think that Mahomes necessarily needed to bail all the way out there. I think this goes along with what I was saying, Mike. I told you twice I've had a sneaking suspicion that maybe he was pressing.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe he left a little early there when he felt that pressure coming.
Yeah.
He could have probably stood in and got that ball to Noah.
Yeah. I think so, too. Now, I will say this. I had wrote on that before it said you can see Noah still open, but with Mahomes scrambling right at full speed and the defender there, he's not going to launch that back across his body into traffic. There's no way he's going to throw it, maybe on Madden. So, yeah, Madden tricks people into thinking like, hey, guys, we can do it. But it's just not there. Like, he just could not do it. I think once he got going, he just couldn't do it. But, again, Hutchinson breaks contain, but when Hutchinson hits him with that spin move and calls Mahomes to have to break the pocket, Noah Gray could have had 20, 25 there. And again, that's another where Noah Gray had another big gain taken away by just something random.
Right.
Not really Noah's fault. Did we get to Enrique's 199? Did we see that super sticker?
I think I did. I
Okay.
shouted out Enrique.
Okay. Shout out Enrique then. And Night Hunter 2, you got him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're right here, right?
Yep. That's where I was
Ooh,
at.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I'm keeping up, Mike. I'm keeping up.
Okay, my bad.
HD Chiefs fan with the 5. Appreciate you, buddy. He says they need to stop using McKinnon only on third down. He is a better rusher than CEH and definitely has the best hands of the running back room for the pass game. I do think he has the best hands, but he also had one of the 3 drops of the night. So that sucked. I don't know if I would say he's a better rusher. He's not a better rusher than Pacheco.
Right.
I don't think he's a better rusher than CEH, honestly. I mean, I know CEH likes to run into the back of his offensive line a little bit too much. None of them have great field vision. Maybe McKinnon's got a little better vision, but it's just a different type of guy. And I think if you didn't only use McKinnon as your third down back, he wouldn't be as effective because people know that 90% of the time when he's in there, he's leaking out and going to try to get a pass. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I mean, as far as pass protection, that's your guy, 100%.
Hey, but I would say McKinnon has shown he can rush the ball.
He can. I'm not saying
Another
that he's
thing
bad.
I don't have it in front of me, but I want to say Ron Kopp actually had tweeted something out yesterday, and he was making a point By the way, thanks HD Chiefs fan.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Catch-ups for HD Chiefs fan, by the way. Ron Kopp had tweeted out a thing about how the Chiefs will not commit to running the ball between the tackles. And with Pacheco, he only run the ball between the tackles one time out of 8 carries. And the rest of the time, he's trying to get them outside the tackle and just to the sideline. And I don't know if that necessarily works all that well when you don't have as mobile of tackles. Again, if you wanted to run that scheme, pay Orlando Brown. I mean,
right.
That's what he was. That was the only thing he was that good at.
Yeah, he's a
and
great run blocker.
Yeah, and now you're going with an older guy that's a little bit better in pass blocking, but he's not as good run blocker. And so you've seen what he did when he got out with Sky Moore. Like, he just whiffs the guy. But it is what it is, man. It's tough to just be a Monday morning quarterback all the time. Because, again, what they're watching and what we're seeing in super slow-mo,
right.
It's tough.
Now, I see what JT's saying in the chat. Don't run. Shout out, man. I hope you're doing good. But, yeah, Mahomes, sometimes it feels like his vision might not be all that great sometimes. But I think it's like, it's not all the time. I feel like it's when he's pressing, and I also feel like when he feels like he needs to get out the pocket and go. Like, it's almost like he eliminates – I want to say it feels like he eliminates his vision to half the field, but then again, a lot of his throws are crossed back across the entire field.
Right.
But I think it messes with the timing of things more than anything. When you have to get out of the pocket, roll out, then everybody has to get off script and try to find a soft spot in the defense. It just gets a little here and there. It's more predictable when you can step up in the pocket and make your reads.
You know, Mahomes does, when it comes down to some of the people that think Mahomes is not the best quarterback in football. When you got the people that think Burrow's better, the people that think Josh Allen or whoever, they do always go back to Mahomes doesn't read the field well. Mahomes doesn't read defenses well. Mahomes doesn't do his progressions properly. Some of them even say Mahomes don't even do progressions, that he just singles in on 1 or 2 targets like they do in college and just goes. I kind of seen glimpses of that in this game. And I don't know if Mahomes, I'm not want to accuse him of doing that all the time, but in this particular game, maybe it's just because it was week 1 and they maybe had to switch their game plan a little bit. But I felt he did that a lot this game, and we're going to see more examples.
Right.
But the next example I bring up, and I won't bring it up just yet. We'll
have
talk
a good
to
night.
the people a little bit.
Have a good night, Hunter.
Yeah, Night Hunter. Good having you here, brother. Yeah. Before we jump into the next play, but the next play is a positive play. It's a touchdown. It's the touchdown throw to Rashee Rice. We'll break that down in just a minute, but it's a pretty good one, man. I'm excited for you guys to see that one, but we'll talk to the people for just a few minutes, We don't want to wear them out on the film sesh. Ain't nobody getting paid for the film sesh, Do you know the one play I didn't get, though, Steve? Was that one everybody's freaking out about with the Clyde Edwards-Helaire missing the hole?
That I'm sure you guys have seen that image online. That's a joke, by the way. Like, if you want to see what have actually happened in that situation, was it Mitchell Schwartz that posted it?
Yeah, and he was taken up for Clyde because
I mean, it was ridiculous that people think that you can just do Madden things like that.
Is Clyde going to get to the point where everybody hates Clyde so much that now he's going to turn into the everybody feels sorry for him and everybody's going to be back on the Clyde train within a few weeks?
No. I don't think that at all. I don't think Clyde's ever getting back in the good graces of Chiefs Kingdom. That's just all there is to it. He done burnt that bridge, but
he's burned it.
I do think that Clyde, there was no way he was going to reverse that and get back to the other side. There's just no way. Not the way that play was designed.
Right. Well, screw it. I'm just going to go into the next play. Let's do it. Let's get it going.
Why? Why are you in such a hurry?
I'm just ready to roll.
I think one thing's very apparent, though, Mike. I've seen it in the chat a lot tonight, and then you can get to your play. They've got to do something with the 3rd and short.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and what better to do than to either run the ball up the gut with Pacheco or do a quarterback sneak? Let's just stop all the fancy, pretty, stupid, cute stuff and just freaking get the 1 yard already.
Right.
You're grown men. Grow up and get 1 yard, please.
Yep. Let's grow up. Okay, man. Here's the play. So this is the touchdown pass that Mahomes is going to throw to Rashee Rice, and in this play. Now, everything I just said about Mahomes, not reading defenses, not going through progressions, he does it this play. And I mean, he does it very effectively. So, again, when I said that, that's not a knock against Mahomes. It's more like maybe coaches have him doing that. Maybe that's something to watch.
I don't know, Mike. Let me see this play before I say what I'm going to say. I want to
Okay.
make sure. But go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna see Noah Gray in tight here. He's just gonna leak out to the flat. You can see I've drew all the routes for you guys. MVS is just gonna sit down right here after about 3 or 4 yards. He's gonna turn around and sit. You've got McKinnon leaking out of the backfield, going to the pylon. Now here you're gonna see this is a timing play between Richie James and Rashee Rice. So they're lined up in a the little formation over here, and Richie James is gonna go first. He's gonna come up and he's gonna kind of run an in route. And what it's designed to do is basically, guys, this is a pick play. You're going to see Rashee Rice kind of hold up on him, kind of get right behind him, and they're going to run to the same spot. One's going to go left, one's going right. So Rashee Rice is going to take his little butt all the way, kind of work it back to the pylon.
Keep in mind, when he says pick play, he doesn't mean that there's actually a receiver out there blocking. That's an actual pick.
No.
Pick play is when you time your route perfectly together where these guys can't lean one way or the other to hit a defender either, or a flag will come out.
Right. So you're going to see, here we go. Just, by the way, don't even watch the bottom two guys. Let's just watch Richie James and Rashee Rice at the top. So look, here they go. You noticed he let Richie James release. He gets his initial, and Rashee Rice goes right behind him. Okay, they get right to the route. Now look at Richie James turn in, and he takes every defender and bunches them together.
Right.
And watch. Mahomes isn't even watching that. Mahomes is watching MVS down here getting double teamed. So his first read was Noah Gray, which, by the way, Noah Gray beats this guy to the pylon for 6. So again, Noah Gray, another touchdown missed. MVS is double teamed, so he has to look back this way. And Mahomes actually looks back right there, and he sees Rashee Rice instantly. And he knows Rashee Rice is going to work himself back in the back of the end zone towards the pylon. And I stop it here to show you that Richie James just completely wallops through defenders.
Rashee Rice jumped up and down like, dude.
Yeah. So here it is in the
Please
full motion
throw me
again.
the ball.
Right. And again, beautiful play by Richie James. That was a veteran play. He took 3 defenders out of the way. And Rashee Rice, he was patient. He got his hands up. He worked to the open spot, and he says, throw me the ball. And Mahomes was right on it. So beautiful. By the way, look at that pocket. Clean pocket. Not a person anywhere. Jawan Taylor throws Hutchinson completely out. Hutchinson's not even close. He's not even within 20 yards.
So if you
Hutchinson gets blocked so bad, he tries to go back and play defense. He just turns himself into a corner. Watch. He's like, screw it. I guess I'll just run back and play some defense.
If you look at Mahomes, I think his first read, I don't think it was MVS. I think it was Noah Gray.
It was Noah Gray, MVS. He's going right to left.
I think he knew he had to float a pretty good ball out there for Noah Gray to get that, actually, because the guy was defending him pretty tight. McKinnon was leaking out on the left side of the field, and it looks like to me if Mahomes hit him, if he got him the ball before the defender came in, he still had to make at least one guy miss to get in the end zone, which McKinnon can do. But keep in mind, like with that throw to McKinnon, it could have been a little dangerous because if that defender back there is a ball hawk and kind of is reading it,
right,
it got nasty.
100%. If Kelsey is in there instead of Noah Gray, I think he takes the shot and throws it to the pylon.
Yeah, same.
I think he does. But good job by Mahomes. And I just wanted to show this one after the last one because why? Mahomes actually had progression. He went right to left. He goes Noah Gray, MVS. He had nothing. He hit his third. Beautiful and beautiful play by Richie James too. So that's that. I mean, Richie James, they all did pretty good on that play. That was good execution, by the way. And that's what we lacked all night was just execution.
Right. So what I was going to say before we started that play, because I just wanted to see if my theory was intact, but I think what happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I know it's not 100% of the time that this happens, but I feel like maybe a majority of the time, I feel like if Patrick Mahomes stands in the pocket or steps up into the pocket, he makes his reads clean. Yeah. I think he does. But I feel like if Mahomes bails and rolls out of the pocket, I feel like he automatically gets into backyard ball mode. And I don't even think he has his read progression anymore. I think he just starts darting his eyes around to see who's going to find a soft spot.
Yeah, when you have to leave the pocket, you can't progress. It's just called go get it. Go do something.
I've seen him do it before.
Right, but it's not very common. I mean, think about it. If he's going right to left, if your pass progressions are right to left, and you have to bail out going right, how are you going to get back to the left side of the field?
Mahomes bails out to the right 90% of the time. By the way, if you pay attention, he likes to get to that side of the field.
Well, it makes his throw easier. If he's running right as a righty, it's a lot easier than running left, throwing across his body. Not that great, but yeah, man, Mahomes he does good. I mean, obviously, this dude's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Like, he's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But what we noticed with the Lions game is he was not in regular season form just yet. Like, I mean, that's basically it. And again, I don't know if it's him or if it was just the play calls. Maybe the plays were designed to do certain things. That's it.
Was it really Mahomes, or was it the Mahomes imposter?
Could have been Patrick Mahomes. Could have been. Let's just jump into the next one. Why not? This next one's fun, and it's easy. And this is one I was kind of telling you yesterday, Steve. Do you remember when I told you, and I was like, man, how in the world did they let Joe Thuney, like, be the highest one? So here we go. Joe Thuney's right here. He's up against the defensive tackle. You can see number 53. He's way out in a 9 tech. Like, he's going to come in with Jawan Taylor over here. Or not Jawan Taylor, Donovan Smith, my bad. So he's going to come off, and so it's just right here in the middle. You can't miss it. But just watch Thuney, by the way. Just gets completely just push-pulled into oblivion, and Mahomes gets hit, right? So big imbalance, big miss there. Joe Thuney looked horrible. Like, that's just bad. You can't get beat that bad. He's like the second, third highest paid player on this team.
Yeah, he just got off balance is what happened.
Yeah, just got off balance. But look, gets Mahomes hit. Now, look, they said PFF, Joe Thuney give up 0 pressures and 0 hits on Mahomes. How? I tagged PFF in this play, and I was like, how? And is that not a pressure? Is that not a hit?
Right. How they score. That's why I was saying yesterday when I brought up the stuff, Mike.
He has to
take it with a grain of salt because I don't know what they're looking at sometimes. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
And then he just, it causes Mahomes to have to get rid of the ball. And by the way, Mahomes is going through progressions. He's looking to the right. See? He feels the pressure there. He sees it. So he's already looking at Rashee Rice right here. But when he gets here, Mahomes has to, no, he wasn't looking at Rashee Rice. He was looking at somebody over the middle. But yeah. He comes down to Rashee Rice, and that was just late. There's nothing he could do about it.
I feel like he was a tad bit late on that throw, and he tried to compensate by throwing it 75 miles an hour, and it was just bounced off Rashee Rice's hands.
Right, which is completely fine. Here's the next one. You're going to have Joe Thuney again. I want to show this one again. So here you're going to have your 2 outside receivers. They're just basically going to run little, turnarounds. You've got Justin Ross right here. Justin Ross is right down here at the bottom of the screen. He runs up. So the guy in front of him is not the defender. The linebacker is his defender. So he basically runs with the linebacker, and then he decides what he's going to do. If the defender sits, if the safety sits, he's going to either come back, he's going to do a post, he's going to run a go. And then, of course, in the middle of the field, you got Rashee Rice in the slot. He's going to kind of work himself across the middle. You've got Noah Gray again at the top. He's going to run a post. He's going to run a post right off the numbers. Now, I'll just show you right here. So we're going to get going. Here we go. Here's the play. Now, look, the pocket's fine, but Mahomes can't throw this to anybody. Nobody's even looking. The only way he throws it is to Pacheco at the bottom or, I think that's MVS at the top. That's the only 2 he could throw it to, but he's not going there. He was looking to the middle of the field. But let's look at Justin Ross down here at the bottom.
Who's at the top right now? Up by the line of scrimmage.
That's MVS.
God bless. Throw him the ball.
Well, they're looking to get something bigger here.
I get it.
So these are just your bailouts. But my point is this. Justin Ross down here at the bottom is wide open. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's wide open. But Mahomes can't get him the ball. He's not even looking. I don't know who Mahomes is looking at here. To be honest, I think he's waiting on Noah Gray. But do you see the pocket? Joe Thuney is getting completely pushed into his lap, and now watch Mahomes. He has to let up off Noah Gray. Look, he has to let up off Noah Gray right there.
Jeez, these
look
guys
at Noah Gray.
Open.
Right, and now look at Noah Gray. If he could have sat in the pocket for one more second and threw that ball, Noah Gray is catching the ball easily for, 25 yards?
Yeah, 25 yards.
And by the way, Justin Ross was open. And luckily, Rashee Rice gets himself across the field. You'll see Rashee Rice, he follows Mahomes here. So he follows Mahomes. Mahomes does make a good play here and gets him the ball. But, dude, Justin Ross was there, but the progression, he was looking at the other side. Watch Thuney right here. Just walks him right back into Mahomes. So that's what I'm saying. Thuney, for everything good Thuney does do, he has some bad beats sometimes. And like I said, it's just very small. So like on this one play, he cost Noah Gray that huge post. He cost Justin Ross getting a catch.
Right. Well,
And
sure.
at the end of the day, that's the ultimate team game.
I feel like I feel like Mahomes could have still hit one of them.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
these
if
have been right.
I don't know if he got hesitant or what, but this is showing me something.
What?
I we wanted to dog on the play calling, but I mean, it feels like the routes were working. Some of the routes were working.
There were times. There was a lot of times Detroit played very well. There was a time or two that everybody was open, but you seen on the plays that it just didn't match up. Remember, just something felt off the whole time, and it's
Yeah.
because when they were finally open, you would get an All-Pro bowler left guard. Joe Tooney gives up some kind of weird pressure, and then Mahomes has to evade the pocket. So.
Right.
It just shows how everybody's got to work together on every play, man. It really
True.
does.
Hey, we got Steve-O with the 5 bomb. Appreciate you, Steve-O. Mike's doing some good work. I can't like take his credit here because I've been working all day and I'm just sitting here with a headache. But yeah, I'm enjoying actually getting to see it because I really wanted to go through the all 22. Just didn't have time before we went live. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys in the chat. I'm watching it, letting Mike break it down for me as well. I had my suspicions and stuff, but some of them are being confirmed, but maybe not 100%. But yeah, do you have more, Mike? Let's keep her moving. What's up, Ty? I see you in the chat. Hope you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Steve-O, for the 5. Appreciate
Hey,
you, brother.
catch-ups in the chat for Steve-O. Appreciate you, man.
Catch-ups. Yeah, I actually got another here. This is just kind of going. This is not a play per se. When I was doing some plays, I was kind of watching Jawan Taylor and just seeing what it does. People don't understand that right foot's allowed to set. Now, here's what I'll give you. Your right foot's allowed to set over and over, but Jawan Taylor's very fidgety with his left foot and his left hand too. So if you want to nitpick, there's some nitpickiness.
Well, I noticed what he does, and Lane Johnson also does it. I feel like there's one more, maybe Trent Williams.
right.
He resets his back foot in a rhythm.
Yeah.
And the reason why he does that is because it's completely legal to move your back foot. You can reset your back foot. So what he does is he baby steps back, starting that back
Right.
step. And guess what? When that ball snapped, he's already in motion,
Right.
which makes him look like he's
Exactly.
a false start, and he's not. Like
So-
that's all people need to pay attention to.
Right.
Like he's
So
just not.
Yeah, so you're going to get a little screen grab here. This is going to be my phone screen grabbed because I was working in the program. I wanted to show this, so I just started doing it manually, and I just screen grabbed it to show you. I'll bring it up really quick. This is not on a different thing, so you'll have to unmute yourself, Steven. Here we go.
All right.
So you're going to see, I was just putting it in slow motion. Look, Jawan Taylor is the only guy that's moved. The ball is already halfway back to Mahomes, and nobody else has even reacted to it.
He's just got a really good first step, and it's because of what I was saying.
Right. So the point I'm trying to make is that people were like, he's offsides, he's offsides. He's moving right. He's doing it properly. But just watch. Like he's literally moving back. The ball is out of Creed Humphrey's hand. Like right there. Look, the ball's gone. And nobody's even moving. Jawan Taylor's the first one to move. But with your bare eye, you say, Jawan Taylor jumped. He moved before everybody.
Right.
But he didn't. Like I was noticing that over and over again. I thought that was a very cool thing because you could actually see the ball
Lewis,
leave.
you're dreaming, brother. You're dreaming.
Yeah, that's a little
Good
crazy.
grief. Talk about an overreaction. Also, I saw this Swag King. People can see and agree all they want, but if they don't know the rules, then they're wrong.
Right. I just showed you.
Right.
Just showed you the ball was behind. Like the ball was halfway to Mahomes and nobody had reacted but Jawan Taylor, which shows you that Jawan Taylor knows the snap count. Like he probably knows it better than Mahomes, it seems.
It's like I wish I had like a play of his to like go back and forth on.
Right.
And I'm
Troy
sure
just showed it to you, buddy. Hey man, so many trolls that just don't understand football.
they don't know the rules of football.
You
so
don't
they
know the
just-
rules.
Like they're out there like fighting the good fight, but they're just looking stupid. But yeah, so I wish I could show everybody somehow, but I'm not going to stand up and do it. But what I was saying earlier is the way an offensive lineman sets up, his left foot's in front of his right foot on the right side, right? That back foot is allowed to reset. Like that's the only thing the offensive lineman can move pre-snap.
Right.
Is that back foot. It's completely within the rules for him to reset his back foot. Knowing that, Jawan Taylor, Trent Williams, Lane Johnson. A lot of these guys take advantage of that. It's almost like a little loophole in the rules, if you will.
Right.
But what they do is Jawan Taylor will move that back foot in rhythm, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When the ball snapped, he's already in motion going back. That's
Right.
why he's simultaneous with the ball being snapped, but that's why he's so ahead of everybody else. He's already in motion when the ball's snapped. And it's completely within the rules. People can cry all they want about it, but if they knew the rules of football, man, I thought what was sad about it, Mike, is that the guys calling the games don't even know the rules well enough to not make a spectacle out of it.
Right.
Because
And-
if the guy on TV says something, everybody that watches football thinks that it's correct because the guy on TV
Right.
said it.
Look,
So they got to do better. They gotta do
Troy's
better.
just wrong. Troy's out. Troy, you're just wrong. I'm tired of talking to you. Look, somebody says in life. Here's a beautiful quote, and I think people should do it because Troy is a prime example. You can keep talking and saying the same things you think you know because that's what you hear parroted to you over and over again. So Troy thought he knew because 20 people on Twitter and everywhere else is saying that it's a false start. But you're actually being told what's happening and you're too stupid to hear because you just want to keep talking. You want
Right.
to tell me what you know, but if you'll listen, you'll learn something.
Troy, grow
And
up.
people don't want to learn anything. People just want to talk. So, dude, look, you can go to any of these plays. I can bring up any play, by the way. We'll go into the next play. But before I go into the next play, look, I'll just bring up last play. Can you see this play on the screen? Let's watch Jawan Taylor here. Does he jump? Look, ball. Look, ball moves. Jawan Taylor moves instantly. So look, Troy, y'all just picked out 2 plays. This was a random play, Troy. Just random. And I go to it, and what's happening? Look, it looks like he's moving because, like Steve said, that left foot, he's resetting
The
that
right
over
foot.
and over.
His
The right foot.
that he reset.
Now watch. He's rocking. There's the ball. Simultaneously. Is he 0.00001 second maybe too early? Possibly. But if you want to tell me that a computer, Terminator line judge is seeing that every single time. So right there is the first movement everybody's going to see. He's moving Look,
All that has to happen is the movement of the football.
Right.
So, I mean, like when Creed starts, if you put this in super slow motion to really
Right.
try to see it,
Look at it.
Which keep in mind, if you have it in super slow motion, that is not what anyone's seeing in real time. In real time, it looks bang on.
You're seeing this.
right?
There it was.
So,
By
thing
the way,
about it
what-
is, the minute
what
the
did I
ball
tell you to
starts
watch
move,
yesterday,
they can
Steve?
move.
What did I tell you to watch yesterday? Watch Mahomes' hands come up to catch the ball and tell me that the ball, and Jawan Taylor's first step's not exactly simultaneously. Watch. Mahomes' hand goes up. Look at Jawan Taylor's hand goes up. Creed Humphrey's hand goes back. Watch.
Yeah.
Instantly.
You can watch in that frame,
Instantly.
Mike, the way you're framing it, you can see Creed Humphrey's hand and Jawan Taylor's hands coming up at the exact same time.
The same time Mahomes starts to raise his hand. Right here. Look.
Yeah.
Everybody moves together. They're so good that those 3 are moving together and nobody else even reacts until here. So the ball's halfway back to Mahomes. I will say Aiden Hutchinson had a heck of a jump on that play. The ball is right behind Creed
Yeah.
Humphrey's butt.
He's
and
right
he's
there with
already
him.
out of the stance.
Well, I mean, you have to think if you're that defensive end that's on Jawan Taylor's side of the field, he gets such an elite first step. Just
Right.
move when he moves.
Right.
Like you
So here we
literally
go.
watch him. You don't have to even look at the ball.
Yep. So here's the next one. So I'm tired of defending Jawan Taylor because if you know the rules,
Oh,
you don't
good
have to know the
God.
rules. You don't have to know the rules. We just showed
Like-
you
like
every time that
Jason
he's
Tyson
literally
here.
moving.
Hey guys,
moving.
310 people in here. If you guys would take a second and just please laugh in the chat at Jason Tyson for not knowing the rules of football, that'd be
What?
fantastic.
It's not even about knowing the rules. Like we just showed you on the screen in the
He's too-
slowest
Mike,
of
he's
slowest
too
motion.
stupid to even learn anything. Like his brain doesn't function.
In the slowest of slowest motion, you can see everything move together, and he's still look. We can do it right here. This is a whole new play. I haven't even looked at it. You want to just do it before I get to the play? Here, let's watch. Let me get to it. This is a brand new play. Here we go. So, look, everybody moves together. There it is. So is he off?
Right. Hey, I'm with Chief Kelsey. Everybody let him know what he is in the chat.
Yeah, let him know because watch. Every single person is now moved together. Look, you guys are just being stupid. So it is what it is. So on this play here's what we got.
But
You're
on
gonna have to
Twitter
do-
it said,
Yeah. The people on Twitter are so smart. You guys go back over there and hang out. On this one, you're going to see Kadarius Toney run under the middle. He's going to run a little in route. You're going to see Noah Gray lined up here as the Y. He's going to run a deep cross is what I'll call it.
JT says this is the play everyone was open.
Could be.
Is it?
It could be. I don't know. You're going to see Richie James run right down the middle on a go route. He's running up the go, and then you got MVS. He runs a deep post, and so what they're trying to do is they're trying to MVS, and Richie James is supposed to be taking all the DBs, anybody with them deep, and yeah, let's just watch it play out. Good blocking by the offensive line. I'll pause it here. Look, Mahomes got a beautiful pocket. Okay, he's looking right now at Richie James. He never stops looking at Richie James. He doesn't look at one other player. He's still looking at Richie James, and he throws it to Richie James. You see four corners back here at the back, 2 of them in the vicinity of Richie James, and number 2 is eyeing Mahomes and now knows to run.
The 2 safeties and 2 corners, or what's going on here? I didn't watch the play.
There's 2 safeties and 2 corners going.
Okay.
But point is, number 2 sees it too. Mahomes throws it, and 3 guys get to Richie James. Because why? Mahomes never took his eyes off of Richie James. Look, he eyes him down the entire time.
Right.
So this was the play I was saying. Mahomes, was he told to just, hey, take the deep shot to Richie James? I don't care what the play is. This is what we're doing. Or does Mahomes just get tunnel vision and say, hey, I'm taking the deep shot because I'm tired of this?
Right.
But
He's pressing.
Right. But you want to watch Noah Gray? Here, let's watch Noah Gray. Gets behind the linebackers. He waits for MVS to cross. He runs his shout.
Freaking
Look at that.
Dude.
If Mahomes had threw it to Noah Gray is running for a touchdown.
Looks to pause. Go back.
We're at.
Pause.
Okay.
This is almost like the plays in the Super Bowl status where there's like no one in the same half of the field. Like there's literally what?
There's not a player within 10 yards of Noah Gray.
Yeah, you're pushing it at 10 yards.
But Mahomes had already made up his mind. He never took his eye off Richie James, and he launched it. So from there, the ball's already out. Look, the ball's over Noah Gray.
So I think it's safe to say, and I'm not saying he did this the whole game, and I'm not pinning a bunch of stuff on Mahomes, but I think it's safe to say that he was going back to his pressing days and not being very patient.
Yeah, basically. Because look, the middle linebacker's watching him right now. Like, again, he's just eyeing Mahomes. Mahomes
I noticed
doesn't take his eyes off.
he was getting spied quite a bit, which I thought was odd.
Right.
But I guess it's because he, some of those broken plays.
But look,
he got some
again,
yardage running.
If you want to say Noah Gray's not good, Noah Gray's wide open. If that's Travis Kelce, he's probably looking at Kelce and throwing him the ball. But you can't say Noah Gray didn't get open there.
Right.
So who's that on? Is that on Noah Gray, or is that on Mahomes, or is that on the coordinator, or whoever said to throw the deep ball? Because Richie James and MVS done
not on Noah Gray. I think he found the soft spot. He did.
Richie James and MVS done what they were supposed to do. They cleared the defense.
God bless, man. And if he would have just threw the ball to Noah Gray there, and granted, we don't see everything the way Mahomes sees it.
No, look, he's already throwing the ball from here.
Right.
Like he's already made up his mind.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Lacking patience, pressing a little.
Right. If he just sits in the pocket and lets Noah Gray work back. If he could have thrown that
to Noah Gray about right now, Noah Gray's still running for another 20 yards.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball right here and just head up the sideline. Noah Gray's pretty fast.
Right. No kidding, dude. Hey, Ty with the 5 bomb. Appreciate you, Ty. He says 310 people, 95 likes. Can we please take a second to hit the like button unless you're a slap nuts with no rule knowledge? And if you are, you can still hit the like button on your way out.
Yeah, that's true. Ty, appreciate you.
Catch ups and legendaries in the chat for Ty. Appreciate
Give me
you, buddy.
some catch ups for Ty. Yeah, man. I have fun breaking down plays like this.
I have fun trolling trolls. That's all.
Yeah, I do too. I know a lot of people don't. Maybe it goes over people's head. Maybe they don't care. But to me, I like looking at this because, like I said, my initial reaction to the game, and then you go back and watch it from this perspective, and you're like, wow, I didn't see what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see something totally different.
Don Burr, I hope you enjoy the win, my man. Yeah, but the thing about it is, and I don't know if you're one of these people, but I was saying earlier, a lot of Lions fans, I don't know about the team per se, but Lions fans might have a false sense of security, a false sense of hope right now. I'm not saying that they're not good, and they probably should win that division, but they didn't beat the Chiefs at their best in a bunch of different ways. Like, first of all, the Chiefs played like complete garbage. Second of all, no Kelce, no Chris Jones. They only won by 1 point when Kadarius Toney gave them 7 on a silver platter. Dropped another one that could have been 3 or 7. So I mean, I wouldn't get too overworked about it. Congrats on the win, by the way. They did what they had to do and got the job done, but I might want to calm down a little. Just saying. Don't want to hurt them. Don't want to get your feelings hurt later when you realize maybe they're not the greatest team ever. You know,
Right. I mean, it's fine.
you're still young. They're growing.
Hey,
Like I said, enjoy it, but just
have your
don't
Super Bowl.
have
don't
yourself
know.
a day.
Have yourself the nicest time you've ever had. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's cool. It is what it is.
Man, Kadarius Toney though, you know what I didn't like? No one even like. How come Kadarius Toney didn't have to address the media after the game?
I think Kadarius Toney didn't want to address anything. Like I feel sorry for him a little bit.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. This is what I was saying, Don. Don't have a false sense. Like, if you really think Jamison Williams or Emmanuel Mosley or Isaiah Buggs or any of that is as important as Chris Jones or Travis Kelce, then you're lying to yourself.
Your Lions.
You're lying to yourself. They were handed the game on a silver platter by none other than a man named Kadarius Toney. So, yeah.
Right. It's I don't know. You can't talk to people. I get it. Like, you just can't talk to people that don't want to be talked to. Like, if you're just a troll, you're just a troll. Like, you're not trying to talk football. You're just being stupid. So it is what it is.
No, I seriously think some people are like that, though. I'm just saying they might even be trolling. They really they see all they see, Mike, is the Lions beat the reigning Super Bowl champions on their home field. That means the Lions are fantastic. Like, they're the greatest team. They knocked off the greatest team. That's all they see. They don't see it any further than that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're trying to help.
There's no context to it. And if you put context to it, then it's like, well, you're just making excuses. No, not really. There was no excuse for the Chiefs to lose that game. Even if they would have had the entire second string in, there was no excuse.
Yeah. I mean, why give them the time of day?
I was just helping Don Burr out. I didn't want no Don Burr to have a bad year after he realized he got too happy. He got too horned up after week 1.
Yeah, he's horned up big time. Let's just get to the final play. How about
Let's do
that?
it.
We
Let's
got
do
one
it
more
now.
play. Let's just look at the final play. And then that'll get us, we can just get on here and talk a little bit and have a good one. Okay, so here we go. This is your favorite one, Steve. This is the Kadarius Toney drop. So, again, you've got Noah Gray. He's going to run like a very tiny, skinny post, basically, and he don't even get to run the post because Mahomes kind of throws the ball. You got Kadarius Toney up here at the top. They're basically running a mesh route. So they're going to cross in the middle. The yellow lines is what they should be running. And then, of course, in the middle of the field, the receiver comes up and runs across them. I think that's MVS. I'm not for sure. I couldn't see the number too well. Right here in the slot. I think that might be MVS. I'm not for sure who's playing that position right there in the slot. I couldn't get a number. You can see how blurry it is.
We'll
so
see
I
in a
can't
minute.
really get a number. But anyways, okay, so do you notice the green arrows I've got drawn?
That Richie James running the wrong route.
That's Richie James running the completely wrong route.
See, that's why I went back and watched it after we talked about it, Mike, and I was like, Richie James ran the wrong route completely.
James is thinks he's supposed to be running a dart route, a slant, if you will. He takes 2-3 steps, jabs to the inside, and goes on a 45-degree angle to the middle of the field. That is a slant or a dart, whichever way you want to look at it. He was not running a shallow cross with Kadarius Toney. He then sees Kadarius Toney come across the field, and he's like, oh, my God, I've ran the wrong route. And he tries to cut in front of him, leading to the debacle that we've seen. So I'll play it now and let you see it. Watch Richie James at the bottom. There he goes on a slant. Then he says, whoops.
Yep.
Cuts right in front of him. We'll show it one more time. Watch Richie James at the bottom. There's the slant. Whoops. Let me get in front of him. And then look at Kadarius Toney. Look back at Richie James like, what are you doing, bro? Watch. He looks back at Richie James right there. So Richie James caused this whole thing. So as good as Richie James did on the Rashee Rice touchdown, he blew one here, which you're going to. It's the first game, everything. Again, that's a mesh route that you run. Patrick Mahomes is waiting for those two to cross, and he's probably going to throw. He probably knew who he was going to throw to. By the way, you want to watch Noah Gray?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's watch Noah Gray. Touchdown.
Where's he at?
Hey, Noah Gray's at the very top of the field. Touchdown.
Oh, my God, dude.
Noah Gray could have had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day. Mahomes did not want to throw to Noah Gray. He never looked his way. He very rarely looked his way. And that's what I'm saying. That play was obviously designed to be a little mesh, shallow cross, and they were going to go to Tony. And Mahomes was towed. He's the 2-time Super Bowl champion, MVP, everything, and he's being hampered into just being like, do what you're told. Like, why could he not take a look at a different receiver while these two? Because he knows where they're going to be.
I don't think that's a thing.
Maybe not, man.
I do not. I would almost bet everything I own on the fact that they never tell Patrick Mahomes not to go somewhere.
Why does no one see that? I hope you're talking about Noah Gray.
Yes, he is. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, look, that I pulled out, what was it, 6-7 plays, and 2 of them basically just focused on the offensive line. Donovan Smith pulling on one, and then Joe Tooney getting blown up on one. But on every one of these plays, did you guys not notice that Noah Gray was wide open? Like,
Mike,
Noah Gray could have had 500 receiving yards.
This just all goes back to every time that the Chiefs look like they did against the Lions. We've seen it several times. And every time they're doing that, there's one common denominator. Patrick Mahomes is pressing. Like he's trying to get too much. He's got this preconceived idea of what's getting ready to go on in his head. Like, when the play starts, he already knows where he wants to go with the ball.
So, yeah, the game wasn't going to plan the other day, and I felt like Mahomes was just like, boom, 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 let's go. I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
And, like, that's the thing about it. And definitely not taking a dig at Mahomes here because I would say if you went back and watched tape on all the games of all the different quarterbacks, they're definitely going to be missing some open guys. I mean,
for sure.
Part of it because they can't get through every read and different things happen. There's different factors, different pressure. Maybe he didn't see, like, I don't know. There's so many different things. So definitely not taking a dig at Mahomes, but it's just showing you that I think he gets a little tunnel vision sometimes when he starts pressing.
Yeah, I'm curious. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch the Browns and the Bengals game, as bad as I don't want to. But then I'm going to go back afterwards, and I'm going to watch it all 22, and I'm going to look at some Burrow things. I'm going to see if he does the same kinds of stuff. Or is Burrow better at finding the reads?
Chief Kelsey here.
I don't know.
Kind of saying exactly what I was just saying with the 5 bomb. Appreciate you, Chief Kelsey. He says when you watch all 22, every quarterback misses 5 to 10 passes of where they should have gone, maybe more. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Great comment. That's what I was saying. I did have that same vibe, though, just the way the team was performing and everything. I'm like, I think Mahomes might have been pressing. We got back to that Mahomes prior to last year, to where he wasn't just kind of taking what the defense was giving him and allowing things to open up later and just being patient and stepping up in the pocket. We got that Mahomes that was out there trying to hit that home run ball. And if you noticed, he took more deep shots in this game than we've seen from Mahomes in a while.
Yeah.
It's because he was in that press mode for sure. But that's a good thing, guys. If that's the case and that's why the offense was kind of stalling out, as we've seen with Mike with these plays, like it looks like the receivers we're actually getting they were getting a little bit of separation. They were open. There were guys out there that were open. So
look, I had probably 20 more plays. I had plays showing that Sky Moore was getting open more than we thought. There was plays where Richie James got open a few times, but Richie James didn't look good overall.
Catch ups in the chat for Chief Kelsey, by the way. Appreciate you.
That was a good comment. I mean, for real, like you don't study film and you're not looking at this just to say, hey, Mahomes sucks, or hey, this guy sucks, or this guy sucks. I get it. There were drop passes all day. There was errors around. We're showing you that it was a total team loss, and yes, Mahomes can be included in that.
Of course.
Execution was bad. The coaching was pretty bad, to be honest. Some of the play calling, some of the third down, fourth down situations were kind of stupid. Some of the game situations were dumb. Everybody can take the L here. Everybody.
Well, that's what I was saying, Mike.
And it's not anything bad. Nobody's being negative. Like, this is just what teams do. The Chiefs are being way harder on themselves, by the way, Steve.
Right. The positive to take away from it is that if it looks like to me that it was just a classic Mahomes pressing type deal. If that's the case, we're fine because Mahomes will get out of that. Like, it's going to rear its ugly head up sometimes because Mahomes has this natural instinct to look down the field and try to chuck the ball as far as he can. It's just how he plays the game. But he reined that in last season. Well, they won the Super Bowl last year because Mahomes grew up a little bit. But he's still going to have that tendency. And I felt like he didn't have a security blanket with Kels on the field. He had a lot of new receivers, and I think that's exactly what he was doing with Preston a little bit. I think we'll be just fine. He'll settle in next week against Jacksonville, and we'll be all right.
Right. Don't run. Oh, my bad. I was going to bring this one up first.
Oh, go ahead.
Don't run. Remember for 2 months. He said, Mike, Richie was supposed to clear on top to break Tony under. Tony ran too high. That's how mesh routes work. Noah was running free. Yeah, the mesh routes work, but who was supposed to run higher? My sense was that if Tony was running too high and Richie James was supposed to run the high, then Richie James wouldn't have let up and come underneath like that. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, you could be completely right.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
But yeah, man, mesh routes, that's just how they work. I think my whole thing was just Mahomes was very fixated on those 2 routes. So was he told, hey, look, you're going to Kadarius Toney. Like, we're going to run this. You're just going to throw to Tony here. Don't look nowhere else. Or was Mahomes just like, I'm throwing to Tony here? Like, is that what he had in his head, in his Kermit voice?
I'm here.
And if he did, then you got to ask yourself, like, maybe you do need to kind of start looking for other players. Because why was Tony somebody you were just so, like, infatuated with? Like, Tony hadn't proved nothing all day. Like, he looked horrible, and he continued to look horrible. And Mahomes just kept looking at him. So it's like, I don't get it. But it is what it is.
I'm not trying to say, you could be completely right, JT, but I don't know. Just from the body language and the vibe, I felt like that Richie realized he was on the wrong path there.
That's what I seen. And that's the only reason I thought.
And then, like, Tony even kind of gave him the look, like, bro. But yeah, you could be correct. Brenda with a 5 bomb says, really enjoying what you're doing, guys. Great work. Thanks, Brenda. Thanks for the support. Yeah, this is cool, actually. I'd like to do some more stuff like this after the games. Obviously, it won't be on our Saturday night tailgates because this is normally going to be like before game day. So,
oh yeah,
definitely we'll do more things like this because, yeah, I mean, why not? We'll get to dig in and look at the games. We did that last season, but we kind of just talked about it later. But I think, like Mike says, it's good to get on here with you guys live, and y'all can ask questions, and we can watch it together. You guys point out stuff that we miss, vice versa. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it, too. Appreciate you, Brenda. Thanks for the support. Put some catch-ups and legendaries in the chat for Brenda and for old JT for being a member for 4 months now. Is that what that said? Or 2?
2.
Well, it should be 4, JT. Come on, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
JT. But, yeah, that's all the plays I had. Like I said, I had a lot more, but it's like we're not playing. We don't get paid to go review film and bore people with it. But I'm telling you, Mahomes and all them, they're watching this film. They're watching it way more intently. Again, they know the exact play. They know where everybody's supposed to be. We're just all kind of guesstimating here. So they're going to break it down. Like, nobody's doing this in any negativity or anything. Like, we're just saying, hey, look, because what did you learn? You know what I learned after watching all that?
I feel better about it.
You feel better. Yeah, you're like, hey, wait, this is what happened. Like, it wasn't so doom and gloom. Maybe the offense wasn't that bad. Maybe Mahomes was just pressing, or maybe he was just told to go to the wrong place by the coaches, or, you know, 1 or 2 plays. Maybe Tooney just messes up. How many times does Tooney really mess up like that? So if 98% of the time Tooney's completely perfect and Mahomes completes some of those, you know what I'm saying? So maybe we're not as far off as we think. So that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, for sure. JT with the 2, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the support, man. I see where you say you forgot to type your message in there. It's all good. We got you. Whatever message you put up next, we got you. No, but yeah, it has to make you feel a little bit better about things somewhat, because when you just first see it and you don't really get to dig in, Mike, it's just like, man, what a freaking catastrophe that was. That was hard to watch.
Right.
It's garbage. And now you're kind of getting an idea of, like, this team's going to settle in. Like, if I see this
right
in game 1, I can live with it. If I see this mid-season, I worry.
And if I see this week 16, I'm going to cry.
Exactly.
That's what I say. But yeah, man, Brian Parrott asked, where's the guy in the Juju row? I think Brian is kind of right. Like, we wanted Juju because Juju was a vet. Juju knew how to get open. Juju was deceptively quicker than people give him credit for. And Juju actually had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah.
Again, we thought, you know,
Sky
Moore, Rashee Rice could do it. And they were running some of the same routes. If you watch the route trees in some of these, they were running it. But I just don't feel like they're as, like, veteran savvy as Juju is at, like, getting open yet. So it's going to be one of those. And again, I think Mahomes just actually trusts Juju really quick. I don't feel like he trusts a lot of these guys. Like even Noah Gray, like not maybe 100% trust issue, but where I'm saying like some of those were Noah Gray's just wide open. If that's Kelsey running that route, then in the back of his mind, he's like, well, daggone, I'm going to have Travis Kelsey, all pro tight end, all world tight end running this route. I'm going to look at him. And maybe with Noah Gray, he's like,
Juju did Travis Kelsey-esque things last season with his route running. Like you said, Mike, I think it was a little bit of experience, this and that. He was finding that soft spot in the defense, and Mahomes was hitting him. And that's exactly why Travis Kelsey's so freaking effective, because it's not just about him running the right route or him running a tight route, whatever. He's literally finding the spot in the defense and exploiting them.
Yeah.
And that's what Juju was doing. And I think if Sky Moore or Rashee Rice, either one, because both of them are both going to be guys that are going to excel in yak. Like they're both yards after catch guys. If they can get to that level to where they can adjust maybe their route or what they're doing and find that soft spot in the defense, and Mahomes can start relying on that, then we're going to see those two guys come off the charts. I think we'll start seeing a lot better performance from them.
The same. Brandon says should have had that beauty forced fumble by McDuffie.
Yeah,
I did have that. I didn't really break it down because, I mean, it was just a good play by McDuffie. There's really nothing to analyze there.
McDuffie, though, how good was he?
McDuffie looked pretty good. Now, he did give up a few catches more than we're used to with McDuffie, but I mean, come on. Amon-Ra St. Brown ain't nothing to joke about.
He had a pretty good day, man.
Yeah,
Jack with the 10 bomb. Appreciate you, Jack. He says, free Chris Jones. Don't mess with the Mojo Veach. Yeah, I wish they could hurry up and get something worked out and just get it. Like, not only did we struggle in the first week and like a lot of things go wrong and a lot to talk about and look at and analyze and everything else, but we also have that lingering too. And it's just like, can we just go ahead and wrap this up and get this season underway?
Yeah, like, I kind of just want Chris back. I don't like how this has played out. And again, people have just taken sides, and I totally understand if you think Chris Jones is being money hungry. I get it to a certain degree. But then I get Chris Jones' side to a certain degree, and it's like, I'm just ready for it to be over with. Like, Chris Jones is just a good guy at heart, I believe. And I think he genuinely wants to be here. And I just wish we didn't have to get to this point. Like, I just want it to be over with. I want to move on. I want to win another Super Bowl and just go. I don't want to see him sitting in the booth with 2 Russian mobsters, like, being hijacked. Like, I'm just over it. So
Fat and fatter.
Yeah, like, I just want it to be done. I don't want to dislike Chris Jones. I really like the guy. I just don't want it. And it's whatever. KWL69 says, learned a lot. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. By the way, I took that off the screen a little too prematurely for you there, Steve.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Where'd it go? I wanted to say thanks again, but I was trying to get the name right. It was Jack. So, yeah, appreciate you, Jack. Throw some legendaries in the chat for Jack.
Also,
we got it. Oh, my bad, Steve. You clicked it right when
Jeremiah with the 10 bomb says, chiefed up. Where was Ross? Ross was not on the field just a whole lot.
Right. He played 6 snaps.
Which was expected. I mean, he is WR7.
Right.
But I do feel like with Kels out, maybe they, like you even said that before the game, like maybe they could come up with some packages for Justin Ross. We didn't really see that whatsoever. But then again, they did have to adjust the entire, everything had to get thrown out the window and redrawn up in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that kind of sucked for everybody as well. But 6 snaps is what he got. What did he get? 1 target?
He had 1 target. His catch was actually a play where he wasn't even really open. Mahomes just kind of eyed him down the whole route and threw him open.
Yeah.
I did show a play earlier where he was wide open, and of course Joe Tooney calls that one. So
Justin Ross is going to take some more patience from Chiefs Kingdom. I know you're probably tired of hearing that because he's been around for a minute now. But he's had all the injury stuff. He was out all last year. This is essentially his rookie season. And Andy Reid's going to treat it that way. He's probably not going to get a big bunch of snaps, to be honest. But he'll work his way in. And I think, like, Justin Ross is a future play for this team. I think he's a long play.
Yeah.
So
and again, he makes the team.
Be patient with him.
Team. Yeah, if he makes the team this year, that pretty much means he's probably on next year. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to just keep rotating these guys hard.
You can be upset with what their wide receiver core looks like this year because you feel like Brett Veach maybe sold it a little short. But at the same time, you have to love the future because I feel like your long plays here are Justin Ross, Rashee Rice, and Sky Moore. And those guys, they have all the tools to be able to develop into really good receivers in this league.
And, another thing too is, again, Justin Ross is not very effective on the outside. he's not. Like, that was one of his knocks coming out of college, is that he's not quick. He's not super, like, fast, elite, can run by corners and create separation.
Right.
So they like to have him in the slot, because there you're lining up on safeties, you're lining up on linebackers. He can beat them guys, and he can beat them with athleticism. But on the Chiefs, you're struggling for slot snaps, because Kadarius Toney, Richie James, Sky Moore, you name it. MVS even runs out of the slot a lot. So all these guys can rotate up and down a lot, but that's the thing. Justin Ross, he's kind of limited to just slot in a way, because he's not super fast and he's not savvy in his route running just yet. But I think he'll learn it and he'll get it. But that was kind of my thing. Like, when everybody's like, he needed more snaps, but I was like, it's kind of tough to find him until he can.
Jay with the 5. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, buddy. He says the Chiefs will be fine. Mahomes was pressing a bit. Check. Agreed. 100%. He says, I'll tell you about it next Sunday. I'll be there in Jacksonville. Go Chiefs.
Let's go.
Nice, Jay. Jay, you're going to be in Jacksonville at the game.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, Jay lives in Florida, I think.
I thought Jay was from Iowa.
I was pretty sure Jay told me he lived in Florida.
I don't know. You have to tell us,
Maybe.
Jay.
But either way, I actually mentioned that to you, Steve. Remember the other day I was like, Steve, you want to drive down to Jacksonville and watch this game?
Let's do it.
And I wish.
Real quick before we go on BS, and really appreciate the donos, Jay, Jeremiah, Jack, and JT. You guys throw some legendaries and some catch-ups in the chat for those two for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. But yeah, Mike did say that. He's like, he is Fort Lauderdale. Who do I got him mixed up with?
I don't know. See, I was thinking Jay was from Florida.
Yeah, I got him mixed up with somebody else. But yeah, Mike said, let's go. Let's just go to Jacksonville and watch the game. And honestly, if you know, I didn't have 7 kids and a job, I would do it.
Yeah, we'd do it. Why? Because I've been to Jacksonville before, and I love Jacksonville. I liked it. I thought it was a nice little spot. Actually seen their ugly stadium. Actually, it's not that bad, but tickets are pretty pricey there too. I tell you, man, the Super Bowl champs, we travel. People want the best shot at us, and ticket prices are outrageous this year. That is the worst thing about being good. I remember when we used to suck. Me and Steve could just be like, hey, man, you got $12? Let's go watch the Chiefs game.
Let me tell you how this works, okay? If you didn't know. When me and Mike were in town for camp, we were like, should we go catch a Royals game? They're playing tonight. They're playing the Mariners. And because we got in a little later than we wanted to, but still have a decent amount of time. It's like, hell, we pulled it up and you could get in for like $5-6 a piece, man, to watch the Royals. And it's like, it's because they suck.
Right.
Like they're just struggling so bad that like they're like trying to give. They're probably standing out. They were standing out on, what is that, Highway 70 there?
Oh, the interstate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. 70.
They're probably standing out there with a sign being like, will someone take these tickets, please?
They're probably like, just
please
pull
come
in.
to the game. We'll give you a free hot dog and a shoulder massage if you'll pull in. Deshaun Watson would have been in there in a heartbeat.
Right. Can I just say something about the Royals? I know this is not a Royals thing, but can they fix them already? Like, come on, Mahomes. Like, you're part, like, owner or something. Like, let's go.
1% stake in that thing, maybe, if that.
Can he get his 1% to just step it up a notch?
We got to do something. We need. I'll tell you what's going to happen. And everybody's going to get mad at me when I say this, but you know damn well what's going to happen. They're going to end up trading Bobby Witt here in about a year or two for some prospect pitchers that absolutely suck butt and never even do anything. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Dude, I just don't get it.
Everybody
Steve,
knows it.
Maybe me and you. Can we just get enough donations that me and Steve, can we just have a fan bought Royals? Like, can we just all pitch in all of our money and, well, we're still not going to even buy like a baseball bat probably, but
I think
I would like to buy the Royals.
Middle school me could have pitched better for the Royals than half of their pitching staff.
That's probably true. Steve was a heck of a pitcher back in the day. He looked like Randy Johnson, but he come at you from the right side because he's a righty, not a lefty, and it was wild. Kids were ducking out of the box when you released it, and it was nowhere near hitting them.
Throwing the heat.
It's pretty funny, actually.
I had like a 3-foot drop on a curveball too, and it scared kids that didn't know.
Also messed up that arm.
I actually aimed at their heads when I threw a curveball. That's where I aimed at.
Also needed some Tommy John surgery by the time you were 16.
But, I did, and that's why I eventually started playing music and didn't play baseball anymore.
Hey, man. Well, hopefully the Royals get it together. But back to the Chiefs. I do think the Chiefs get it together this week. I think you're going to see Andy Reid actually go to Kadarius Toney early. I think they'll finally do that a little bit, and I think they'll get everybody off of him. But will Kadarius Toney respond? We're going to learn a lot from KT this week.
I think he will. I think he's fine.
Aren't you going to learn a lot from KT, though? Like, is he the future? You're going to learn that in the next few weeks. How does he handle adversity?
Listen, well, yeah, I think we will see that, but I do think he'll be fine. And the thing about it is, Mike, Kadarius Toney, the sentiment that we've got from everybody that's been around Kadarius Toney, like even Haley said she was around him some in the locker room and stuff, and she said he just loved being in Kansas City and he really wanted to play and win. That she never had, like, even the vibe he got, like when eyes were off him, there were no cameras on him, no nothing. That was the vibe from Kadarius Toney, is he wanted to be out there and win. I think Kadarius Toney was probably absolutely disgusted, sick at his stomach after this game, like no doubt about it. Because
think about that.
Yeah, that's rough, bro.
Like, look, let's just think about it. I'll say this: we've all done things in life, like either our jobs or, we played sports. Could you imagine just showing up one day and just having your worst day where nothing goes right? You just can't do anything properly.
But everybody in the world's watching.
But it's on prime time, and everybody in the world just calls you out for it. Like, that's got to hurt a little bit. And look, we're responsible, too. We were screaming. We were like, my God, cut this dude. But, those are just in-game reactions.
That's just a joke. I really mean to cut Toney.
Right.
But I did blame him for the loss, and I still think that he's pretty much single-handedly responsible. Not for the total loss, the fact that they should have probably been ahead by 21 by the time he missed that last ball. But it's not just his fault. But, I mean, in reality, Mike, if it wasn't for that and that, the game was over. Like, the Chiefs had it.
Yeah. And and that's not trying to take anything away from the Lions win. That's not anything else, but as bad as we played, if Kadarius Toney catches that ball at the end, they lose. Like, the Chiefs win.
Right.
So when we say, hey, guys, don't toot your horns too much. It was a 1-point win with 2 of our best players out, and we should have beat you. By the way, we should have been up 10, 20 points that entire game.
Our defense, without Chris Jones, held them to 14 points.
Look, if Kadarius Toney don't let that one pop off his hands and goes for 6, we're probably scoring that drive and we're going back up, 14. So, again, 2 things can be true. The Lions can win and give you credit, but also the Chiefs can look bad and be better than they look too at the same time.
Right. So well, Mike, I think this goes back to what our initial reaction was, to be honest, and we're not even talking about that. Like, yeah, it sucks for Toney. Terrible night. Pretty much cost the Chiefs the game, which is sick because I'm sure he was disgusted by it. And that's one of them. He probably didn't sleep very well Thursday night. But the thing about it is it's on Toney, but it's also on the coaching staff because honestly think the guy was not ready to play. He hadn't played any of camp. He hadn't played any of the preseason, and there he was. And to be fair, it's kind of a double-edged thing here because he not only did he drop the balls, but he was one of the only guys getting pretty good separation. He was open a lot. So, there's that.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Daggone. I'm old, and I can't remember what I was going to say.
I do that all the time. By the way,
it's due time. Here we go.
I know. I wish I had one. I might leave you guys and go grab one. I'm pretty thirsty.
Let's listen to this.
Ooh,
sounds good.
Before I run
are you really going to run upstairs?
I'm going to go grab a drink. But yeah, Jay Cruz says the fake kick's what cost them, or the fake punt.
Who expected that?
Well, that's the thing about it. Okay, Dan Campbell, for as much as he had to say, like even after the game, he was like, I'm not surprised. This is exactly what I expected, blah, 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 blah. I didn't learn anything. It's what I already knew.
Right.
That's just him being a coach and saying what he's got to say to get his team pumped and show them that he really believes in them. But Dan Campbell, his actions were the reverse of that. He knew the same way every time we play the freaking Chargers with that turd of a coach they got. Like, they know that they're already at such in a hole playing the Chiefs. Like, they know they have to do something crazy to win. They have to get lucky a few times. They have to do dumb things like play Madden ball in the first quarter on their own 17-yard line. Like, they know they have to do dumb things like that and get it to work out for them to win the game. So, yeah, I guess you're right in a sense that had an effect on the game. But at the same time, it was one of their only scoring drives.
Right.
I'll be back.
Okay, you're fine. I'm just talking to Raj. Oh, Raj. He said this was not the Lions at their best also. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, nobody gives their best effort in week 1. I think the Lions are going to be a heck of a team. I really do. And I know that they're young. The Chiefs are young too. Again, I think our oldest players are literally, Tooney and Mahomes and Kelsey and Chris Jones, who wasn't even on the field. But yeah, man, that was 2 young teams. I could see these two battling it out. I could see these two in a Super Bowl in 2 or 3 years. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't even know if Roger's a Chief fan or a Lions fan. Who knows? But he's got a good nickname for Dan Campbell. That's kind of funny. But anyway, Steve and Mike, y'all home. We are home. We're home. We're home. I wanted to get out this week and take a drive. I wanted to take the drive back to KC. But then I was like, wait a second. They're away. So that would be kind of stupid if I drove all the way out there. And then I don't even get to watch the game. So I need to get out there. We need to pick a game that we're going to go to so we can maybe get everybody out there and watch a game together or something. Ain't that right, Steve?
What?
I was telling him, I was like, we need to sit down one day and pick a game that we may want to go to so everybody can start looking to get tickets if they want. Maybe we can all have a nice little a little meetup. I don't think we could all get in the same section, but we could watch the game and then maybe we could say, hey, let's have a dinner together or something for,
I also
before we
think
hit the bricks.
That would be pretty cool. And I also think it'd be cool to go to Kansas City during an away game and have a watch party somewhere.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
That might be better because we could actually all be together.
That's kind of cool.
A big happy family with JT because Mike misses him so much.
I do miss JT. He was a good guy.
But no. Yeah, we'll try to figure out when we're going to make it to a game, if and whatever. A lot going on this way. So, yeah.
Chief Kelsey says, again, the Chiefs teams are going. Oh, against the Chiefs, teams are going for more 4th downs. Boy, they always do.
They have
Every time.
to.
It's Madden ball. Every time they beat us and play us. I mean, well, that's the only way to beat us, but isn't that what the Ravens, the Ravens started that crap?
Like, to me,
everybody, it's so stupid.
Like, Dan Campbell was trying to pump his team up and stuff and, like, say that he had confidence in them. But to me, like, I feel like that kind of shows your team you don't have a whole lot of confidence in them. Like, we're going to go for it.
Second drive of the season.
Yeah, on our own 17-yard line or something stupid like that. I don't know if
Do you
that's
just
actually
imagine?
where they were, but
can you imagine how that game changes if they just don't pick that up? Like if the snap goes wrong.
he just killed them. If the Chiefs were playing like they normally are, and Mahomes wasn't having a bad day and stuff, like
Yeah.
he
could have
lost the
seen-
game right there.
Yeah, you could have seen that turning into like the way we did Tampa Bay last year in Tampa Bay. Remember how we jumped on them earlier with that fumble right off the rip, and then we scored twice, or like really quick, and just put them away. That could have been it if this would have been a full strength team. But it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Jay Cruz says we need to come to Fort Lauderdale, Steve, and have a watch party on the beach. Hey,
I'm down for
I'll
that.
do that.
Bro.
I'll
I could
do
use
that.
a little vacay anyway. JT says, are y'all worried about Jags D line next game? No, I'm not. I mean, I am and I'm not. I'm not worried about them because they are good, though. They got our boy Josh Allen, bro. UK guy right there. That guy's a beast. But the way that the Jawan Taylor, after the initial watch, like at first I wasn't so sure about it. Jawan Taylor handled Hutch pretty well. Like,
I think he did a pretty good job.
he did a pretty damn good job. So I'll give him that. I'm not too worried about it. I think I feel confident in him as far as the pass blocking goes. Donovan Smith is that one's still up for debate. I'm not completely comfortable with him yet, but he didn't play bad either. He didn't play great, but he didn't play bad. So not worried about it, but definitely something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah with a 10 bomb. Team's been going on for it. Yeah, you're right, man. But it's like, I think they know. Like, I think the announcers have even addressed that in the past, Mike. That teams feel like they have to get an edge on the Chiefs to maybe win the game. It's not that they don't feel like they can't beat them, but they feel like they have to gain an advantage somewhere to do it. And a lot of teams are looking at analytics and this and that. Like, you see all that crap. John Harbaugh, every time we play the Ravens, does this garbage. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
And what's his name in the Chargers? Staley.
Brendan Staley.
Yeah, I hate
He
that guy.
sucks. Like he
He's-
stinks.
He's a
Jeremiah,
douchebag.
thanks for the 10 bomb, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeremiah's in Colorado, right? I'm pretty sure. So he
I
might
don't know.
respect this. Look what I got today to show my support for Dion. Coach Prime. Hey, Coach Prime. Boy, they put one on Nebraska today.
They
They
did.
put it on them. I like the story. You know, I just like Dion. I like Shador. Who cares? I'm a Kentucky guy. I'm a Kentucky fan, but I can support Dion.
We're not
I
going to
wanna see
talk
him do
about
well.
Kentucky today, bro.
Did they suck? I didn't get to watch the game. You want to know why? They didn't even show it on TV. What'd
I
they
watched
do?
it.
They
It was on
lose?
It was on ESPN Plus.
Surely they didn't lose. They were playing Eastern,
No, they won.
but it was
But-
bad. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
was bad. At one point, it was about halftime, and I think they had 7 points on the board. It was like tied at 7.
Kentucky's always going to Kentucky. I don't care who their offensive coordinator is. I don't care if it's I don't care if you bring Sean McVay from the Rams instead of the offensive coordinator. They're not going to do it. They're always going to look like that.
They ended up winning like 28-17 or something. It should have been
Right.
a blowout, right?
Yeah, for sure. Black for Cook says, "Do you guys come to Frankfurt? I wanted to. Are you in Frankfurt, my boy? He's in Germany.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy tickets for the game, but there were 600,000 people in front of my ticket. I can imagine, dude.
Dude,
it was
I read
crazy.
stories about that where people just like, I couldn't even get tickets. Like it was out of control.
Yep. Brent says Mahomes did not have a bad game. I don't think it was bad.
He
But
was
it wasn't
definitely
his
definitely
best.
pressing. He was in that mode where he was pressing and missed a lot of open things because he was.
Look, what Mahomes did have, he could have had 2 more touchdowns and 200 more yards if everything would have just clicked a little bit. And to be honest, if some of his receivers would have just caught a ball here and there, he was over 300.
Yeah, they do play us tough, but you know, Jack. The reason why I back on Staley is because there's a couple of those games that they should have won, and they didn't because Staley's Staley.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, wait. Kevin Capel says, Mike, the Browns might play Hallisey tomorrow because the chosen one is hurt.
they're gonna have him in at safety.
They can put Hallisey back at. Hey, he could probably do it.
Maybe.
Who knows? How did Juan get hurt? I haven't heard anything about that. Did he hurt him? Did he hurt his? I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
I already know. It's like I know what my brother was about to say. It's like intuition.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that game. I want the Browns to beat the Bengals. Oh my God, I'd crack up. I wish I could live stream it, just to laugh at them all day long when they lose. By the way, they said they did not reach an agreement with T. Higgins.
They're not going to. They just paid Joe Burrow too much. There's no way.
T. Higgins is 24, Steve.
Is that the play for the Chiefs?
Would you try to make a deal for T. Higgins at the trade deadline for I'd give up a second round
They
pick for
wouldn't.
T. Higgins.
They wouldn't trade him.
I don't think they would. I think they would make Kansas City give up a first round to get him.
They wouldn't even do that. They just wouldn't give him the Kansas.
They probably
City.
wouldn't.
Hey,
But would you
have a
do
good
it?
night. Have a good night, Chiefer. We appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you being here.
Would
you give up a second round pick for T. Higgins?
Yes.
I
After
probably would.
what we saw in week 1, I think there's definitely a hole in the wide receiver room. We were saying that all off season. Like, yeah, there's a lot of talent, but there's a lot of young, unproven talent, and we were 100% spot on. Like, that's all there was to it. Like, if we would have had a guy like a DeAndre Hopkins or someone of the pedigree, or I know a lot of people talked about Mike Evans, which is impossible, but if we were to have somebody like that, I doubt last night or Thursday night would have been as abysmal. Like, I feel like something could have got done. There was just no go-to without Kelsey on the field. There was nobody to rely on. Like, it's not that there were guys open. We saw that. But I don't
Right.
think Mahomes didn't feel comfortable. So it was like we were missing that. So, yeah, I mean, I think T. Higgins can definitely be a wide receiver 1 in the league. He might not be like a top tier wide receiver 1, but he could definitely be one. And on the Chiefs, I think he could be very good.
So, well, I mean, but T. Higgins now brings you up to 8 wide receivers. So who
Yeah.
goes? Does that mean you got to get rid of Justin Ross if you made that trade? They're going
No,
to play basically the same position. Then again, Justin Ross again. I'm telling you, he's better as a slot. I don't.
well, let's look. Hey, let's do this. Let's look at big picture. Let's look way outside of this season, like going forward. Like, what do you think the wide receiver room is going to look like? because I think Rashee Rice and Justin Ross are going to be that guy for us if they don't go out and get somebody like that, like in the future, right? MVS, I don't think is in the future here. I think he might be done after this season, unless he were to go off the chain. Sky's going to be a slot guy for us, and I do think he's going to be good. But he's not that guy. He's not what we're talking about. Richie James, it's up for debate. We have to see what the heck.
Boy, I thought Richie James was gonna just.
Well,
I
we
mean,
just
he
saw
still
one.
could. Yeah, he still could, but
Too early to know. But I'm
doesn't he
saying,
just feel like he should be good in this offense?
yes, but if he doesn't, if he ends up not being up to par, what we thought, like he's probably gone. Justin Watson eventually is going to run his course. So yeah, we'll see. Heath with a membership. Appreciate you, Heath. Welcome to the ACU crew, my man.
Heath, our boy.
Heck yeah. Y'all throw some ketchups in the chat for Heath.
This is welcome to the
newest
Matt
member.
Castle. Steve, by the way, JT, he was like, can you guys take the Matt Castle tier off? Everybody hates being called Matt Castle.
Look, hey, look.
Should
here-
we do
here-
it?
No.
Oh, Steve. We couldn't do like
There's
Trent Green.
There's tiers
Can
for
we
a
do Trent
reason.
Green though?
There's tiers for a reason, right? Like if you want to support the channel with the 5, we appreciate that. And it's freaking awesome. Love having you on the ACU crew. Love our freaking community. But you're a Matt Castle.
That's rude. I give him at least Trent Green. I think we should go at least Trent Green with it.
Do you think that Alex Smith is that far ahead of Trent Green to be 2 different tiers?
Yeah.
Do you didn't even think about it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Alex Smith could have won a Super Bowl here if Andy Reid's play call wouldn't have got a little wonky in the second half there against the Colts.
Man, if Alex was going to get over the hump in his career, it was
was
going to
here.
be here in KC. I thought Alex played great when he was in Kansas City. I mean, even though Mike and Pops absolutely were disgusted by Alex Smith 99% of the time.
There was a lot of times I felt Alex Smith was just too safe.
Yeah, I get it. I understand where y'all were coming from, but at the same time, it's like I have a soft spot in my heart for that man. He helped turn this bus around. He said,
yeah,
"I'll turn
for
this
sure.
damn bus around."
I'll turn it around. Hey, he did.
Yeah. So I mean,
Look at Bo Gagrius. Bo Gagrius. Am I saying it right, Bo? I'm taking it by the colors. Bo's probably a Detroit fan. He says, how many more years do you guys realistically think Kelsey has? I say maybe 2 to 4. Somewhere in that range.
if his health stays good, I give him 4.
Well, you're going to kind of see this year. That knee injury, I don't think it's huge. But if you start seeing like his age causing that knee injury to linger, and then that turns into something else, that can kinetically break your body down. Having one injury can just go up and down the board. So if he falls into that, he may just be like, look, I've done enough, I'm out. Like, he don't want to finish his career like not being able to walk or something. So, but I think Kelsey, if this comes back fine and he finishes out the year, I think he's probably got at least 2 to 3 good years left. And then 4 or 5 if the Chiefs would start utilizing some different tight ends, maybe draft a new one.
Right. Baltimore Xanax says sky's not the limit. Need 3 more bodies. Chiefs are in trouble. No, it's overreaction.
I'm
telling
telling big
you-
Scott Moore guy.
He'll be fine. It's like it's how they use him. And I know Andy's the best play caller in maybe the history of football. He's eventually going to get this with Sky Moore. I think they'll get him the ball.
I'll tell you this, Steve. Well, I was watching All 22 today. You remember the play that we said he shouldn't have got called, for a drop because they threw it too high? When Mahomes tried to set it over the linebacker and he threw it too high?
Yeah.
I watched the play again, and he really didn't have to jump that high. I think he honestly just mistimed it, and it just bounced right off his hand. I think he could have.
If he didn't have to jump that high, how did it hit his fingertips? Because he jumped as high as he could and it hit his fingertips.
I mean, it kind of looked like he could have caught it, though. It just kind of looked like he mistimed it or something.
Maybe.
Call me El Travedor.
When El Travidor's back, this is all a thing of the past.
Man, you know what I want to do? I want to get to a point to where we can take this on the road and just go to every state and hang out with people from that state. Like, how cool would it be to go to Colorado, hang out with Jeremiah, go down to Florida and hang out with Jay? Jay said come to Florida. I'd like to do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be
It'd be
pretty
cool.
sick, actually.
It'd be really nice to, yeah. If we could, eventually, Mike. Eventually,
Hey, if we go to Colorado, Jeremiah, you got to treat me. You got to treat me to a Coach Prime game, baby. Let's go.
Jeremiah's gonna,
Boulder.
Jeremiah's gonna have you doing crazier things than that.
He probably don't even like the Colorado. He's probably like, the Buffalo suck. He's probably like a Rams fan. The Colorado State Rams. What's
That'd be great though. Eventually, we'll be full time doing this, right? That way, we can put all of our time into it instead of when we have a minute, we just don't ever sleep. We do this, but yeah, we'll get there and we'll do cool stuff like that. It'll be awesome.
Black for Cook says he lives in Switzerland. 4-hour car drive to Germany, huh? It's kind of weird thinking about that. Like Europe's kind of set up like the United States, like where we drive to states, they can just drive to like 17 different countries. It's kind of strange.
yeah, it is weird.
So weird.
Pretty cool though. Pretty cool. Scott with the 5. Appreciate you, Scott. Thanks for the support, buddy.
Yeah, Scott. Appreciate you, brother. Is all the cheese in Switzerland have holes in it? Or just the specific Swiss cheese? Steve, I was actually curious, and you're going to try to make me look dumb. I'm just going to stand here really awkwardly like this. There we go.
Hey, appreciate the 5, Scott. Thanks for the support, buddy. Yeah. Hey, Chief Kelsey. We're going to get there. We're grinding. It's been a grind.
We're grinding. We're like strippers in Atlanta. We're grinding hard out here. We're trying to figure it out, guys. Trying, baby. We'll get there. It's going to be a fun season. It'd help if the Chiefs would win a game because people get more excited.
The Chiefs are over.
Frankie, don't. Frank's got to be joking.
Yeah.
Is Frank a Chiefs fan?
I don't know.
I've seen Frank on here before. Don't. I think Frank might be making fun of people in the chat.
I hope. If not, I'm making fun of Frank. If he is, I'm making fun of those people with Frank.
You're just making fun of somebody, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Parrott said we should do a Todd Blackledge tier. It actually pays Brian.
Pays him $1 a month.
Yeah, if they
I
sign
like
up
it,
for the,
Brian.
if somebody signs up for the Todd Blackledge tier, we actually got to send them $1 in the mail. That's funny.
There you go, buddy. I told you.
I don't know how crazy. For some reason, Jeremiah, when I see your picture, man, I always feel like it's you and a wolf. And then I realize that's just a dog. But I'm always like, is he hanging out with a wolf? Like, this guy's cool. And then I'm like, but if I go to Colorado, I ain't hanging out with wolves, bro. Like, we got to do something safer than that.
Fall Forward says, I've enjoyed watching you guys more than watching the Chiefs so far this year. I'm sorry, man.
Probably because we suck. I mean, seriously.
Hey, we haven't dropped the ball as much as KT has, I suppose. At least we've been putting some effort in. No, I appreciate that, man. It's going to get better. It's going to be a good year. I fully believe the Chiefs are definitely going to be back in the hunt, and they're going to get another Lombardi, Mike. It's just how it doesn't make perfect sense that the season would start out this way just to get everyone's hopes up.
After watching the other night, I was like, God, this team's far away from a Lombardi. After watching the All-22, I'm like, maybe not so bad.
Man, that's the thing. Like, Andy Reid will get his ducks in a row. Steve Spagnuolo always takes a while to get his ducks in a row, but the defense looked pretty damn good in week 1, which is a huge jump from last season and season before. So I think we're just fine, man. I'm actually feeling good about it. So,
yeah, we got to 190 likes. So I think we'll give away a poster. Why not?
Yeah, of course.
Let's have a poster giveaway.
You
What do you guys
said
want to
150.
put in the chat? Hashtag what? Let's do a fun one today. Hashtag KT. Please don't drop the ball.
No.
Oh,
Quit dogging on him. It's time to move on. It's time to we got to lift him up.
okay. Hashtag go KT.
Hashtag go KT, baby. And that
Let's
takes a
do it.
lot to put in the chat right now. With that,
This
with
is
that
gonna prove.
with that stinging a little bit from Thursday.
Yeah, come on, guys. We all
Hashtag
need
go
to.
KT.
Let's band behind our boy.
Hey, we're gonna sing.
Let's do this right here.
The ACU community is going to lift Kadarius Toney up to having a good game next week, baby.
So
Just off a
Josh
good
said-
juju.
Josh said hashtag Stonehead.
That's
Hashtag
about right.
Jar Jar. That's a good one.
Hey.
You know, yeah, it's easy to dog on poor KT, but let's look at it this way. I don't want people seeing me in my worst. Definitely not prime time. And I have faith he'll bounce back.
I do too.
If he don't, it's on him though. Like he gets what he gets if he don't come back stronger and better.
He'll come back. He'll come back. He'll be.
I think he
fine.
will. I
Heath
think
with
he'll
the
be good.
5. Appreciate you, Heath. He says enjoyed the play breakdowns. Keep it up, guys. Go Chiefs. Appreciate the 5, man, and becoming a member. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, we'll definitely do film breakdowns usually after every game. I think is what we're going to shoot for. Something like this, even if it's an extra live stream, just to do so. I think that's a way we could get some extra time in with ACU crew. So I like it. Also, something to be looking for this coming week is the members only live stream. We didn't get to do it on the first Thursday of the month because of the game. We'll be doing that coming up this week. Keep an eye on the community tab. Well, we'll put out a time and a date for that. Yeah. And if you're not a member and you would like to join in on that members only live stream where all the cool kids are hanging out.
Oh yeah,
and getting free stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna get some free stuff coming up.
Go hit that join button and
are we gonna do that next Thursday?
Member of the crew.
We'll do it next Thursday.
Well, it'll depend on my schedule probably.
Okay, well we'll try.
So,
it'll be one day next week. Hopefully.
Like I said, we'll put it out on the community tab. That way everybody get a heads up.
Put up a poll really quick before you go here.
For
to see if people like the breakdowns or not, the play breakdowns. If we'd like to continue doing.
I think
this.
we've overwhelmingly had good feedback. So, but I'll do it.
Deal.
I'll do it anyway.
KY says
just to toot your horn a little bit that you did a good job, Mike.
Oh,
that's what we'll
well,
do.
I mean, I just don't want people to be bored. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I'm a film nerd, but everybody isn't. KY says Chiefs haters can brag for 3 days. Detroit had the best record, and KC had the worst in 2023. They've been bragging. Do you know Patrick Mahomes leads the league in interceptions? That's the first time. Actually, it might not be the first time, but we're hearing it. But yeah, that's funny, dude.
Hey, everybody's gotta have their fun in week 1, man. That's what I was telling a buddy of mine. It's like, go ahead.
That Inside Ass Edge?
I like that name.
That's a good name. That's a strong name. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I don't know why you'd want it, but okay. After looking at the footage, do you guys think Pat was just not confident in the guys who were wide open because Travis wasn't out there? Yeah, I do.
I don't think it's he wasn't confident in the guys that were wide open. I don't even think he knew they were wide open because of that. I think I think he didn't even look their way half the time. Like, there's some truth to what you're saying here. I don't think if he knew they were wide open, I think he would have thrown it because I mean, even after KT screwed him over, he still threw him the ball. I just think he was pressing a little bit, and he wasn't maybe being patient enough to get through his reads sometimes, and just trying to get too big a chunk plays. Quite honestly, that's where.
But again, I'm telling you, if Kelsey was on the field instead of Noah Gray, and we were showing these routes,
he would have ate.
He would have.
There would have been a whole lot more double teams on him,
right?
But which would have opened up stuff for other guys.
Others players. It's all it's how you look at it, and it's like one little thing. Like just because Travis Kelsey's out was a avalanche of crap that happened. So I thought the team done pretty good. Brian Perry says #butt diggins.
Hey, for real though, hurry up if you want to be eligible to win a signed poster and put #GoKT, right?
Right. And we'll spin it. I'll get it going.
Nightbot's going to tell who wins this thing.
At 10:58, I'll throw it up. So we'll give you guys one more minute. I like it though. You know?
Heck yeah, man.
What a wild name. I just can't. Steve, Bengals or Browns? Who's winning tomorrow?
Browns. I'm putting it out in the atmosphere.
Let's put it out there.
Let's go, baby.
Will it happen? I don't know, but let's put it out there. Actually, we put out there that the Chiefs would win. Maybe we should go opposite just to jinx them. Remember, because I said I finally give Burrow a compliment. He broke his leg the next day or whatever.
That's the thing. Like, I can honestly say I've moved past the Lions game already. It didn't take long. I actually didn't I was bummed about it. It sucks to start the season that way, but I'm not worried about anything. Already past it, looking forward. I just hope it don't come back to bite us later when we're looking to get that 1 seed. Like, dang.
I hear you.
At the beginning of the season, we screwed up. Make sure on your hashtag JCruz, it's GoKT all together, or Nightbot might not pick it up. So GOKT all together, one word.
Let me see if it's already picked Jay because it tells me who's got it. Yeah, it's already picked you up, Jay.
That worked.
It did. It picked him up. So yeah, he's on there.
Sweet. Wacker about to beat the Bengals.
I hope,
JT
man.
says.
I hope.
he
Wouldn't it be
does.
funny?
I hope he goes and has himself a great massage
Right.
later. Maybe right now, as we're talking, he's just
could.
getting it. Hey, Mike, he's getting it massaged. He's so horned up somewhere, getting rubbed down.
Dude, I smell it from Cleveland.
It's
Like he's horned, man. Roger says, I learned a lot watching the breakdowns. I was yelling false start all night, LOL. Dude, I understand why people yell
easy to
false
do.
start.
People were doing it with Lane Johnson last year, our own fans.
Well, look, I thought Lane Johnson was jumping last year, and then when I looked, I was like, oh, he's not. It's close. But see, that's the thing. People were like, some guy was arguing. He's like, if you watch really close, you can see the ball move. Yeah, well, that means it's a false start. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Because
if the
know
ball
what I'm
starts to
saying?
move, you can move.
if the line judge is watching it, by the way, and it's that close, that even maybe he is jumping a little bit early, but that's human reaction. Like, it's got to have to be obvious. And they called him on the one that he flinched on the front side. So they were watching him like a hawk.
Right.
Because to
No.
be honest, he may have got away with that.
Like I was saying earlier, and Roger just said it. Literally, all you need to know that he's allowed to reset his back foot,
Yeah.
and it's not considered a false start because that's what he's taking advantage of.
Right.
That's what Lane Johnson takes advantage of. Mitchell Schwartz, JJ Watt, a lot of guys came out and said, "Hey, this is something that a lot of the really good tackles take advantage of."
Right.
And if that's the rule, I would do it too.
Hey,
So
I wanted to see it myself. I went and watched some 49ers film to watch Trent Williams. Trent Williams does that same stupid foot wiggle, and he's lined up the same way. So everybody's like, he's lined up too far back. I tell you, man.
Mike, are you drinking mineral water?
No, I've got this. It might look like mineral water.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. I was just confused.
Oh, no.
Thought maybe you're having a bit of Stone Cold's beer that he was having during
No.
the game last
You
year.
kicked off Aneta. I wanted to say hey to Aneta because I'm pretty sure that's the same one that follows us on Twitter. So shout out Aneta. Hearing you do film breakdowns made me realize how intelligent and perceptive you really are. I will challenge that. I'm no, I'm joking. Yeah, people don't really pay attention, but like I said, we haven't played on the professional level. We didn't play in college, but we did play some high school. We were used to it. This is what I like to do. It's fun. I know the game. I'll watch it. I don't think I know everything, so I don't like to do this. But at the same time, I'm like, well, some people need to just learn some things. Like, maybe it is fun. I showed my girlfriend actually today, Steve. I was like, is this boring? I was like, would you watch this? And she watched one of the play breakdowns I did, and she was like, actually, that made me – I showed her the one where Rashee Rice caught the touchdown. And she's like, actually, that taught me – that what the proper thing was while that wasn't a pick play, and it taught me what progressions were. And I was like, oh, so you learned. And she's like, yeah, I actually liked it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll do this then.
Well, it's a good thing she
people that
wasn't
wanna
on X
learn-
because she'd already know everything.
Right, people that want to learn and have an open mind can learn. And I like that about people. And then people just want to know it all, and that's cool. And yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Brian
cool.
Parrott.
Brian,
Look, man. Look.
dude, they
look,
do show a lot of ads, though, I'll
Hey,
tell you.
look at me. It's okay, man. I'm trying to not be working all the time. I'm trying to do this.
That's true.
I'm
Hey, watch
trying
those-
to cover the Chiefs.
Brian, watch
full
the ads
time.
twice.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't do anything else for us, just watch the ad a couple
Just watch it twice, Brian, please.
Request more ads.
Steve's getting a call. Who's it? Is it Brett Beach?
No.
Daggone, I thought it was Brett. Hey, man, if you got to get off here, get off here. Let's go ahead and
No, I'm good.
I'll nightbot it.
Oh, by the
I'm gonna
way,
roll it.
I'm glad that happened. Let me make sure there's nothing crazy here. We have a background.
Oh, check it out.
We have a wallpaper. So if anybody's
No
interested
way.
in that,
That's a
Yeah.
sick wallpaper, and it went away.
if anyone's interested in a wallpaper for their
You better
phone,
hope
let me
Tasia don't send you a little TP.
know. At work. No,
Maybe.
but yeah. If anybody wants a wallpaper, we have one. I just haven't. I don't know where to put it at, like where people can grab it. you know?
Our Facebook, maybe?
I don't know. I guess
Twitter? I don't know.
Because if I put it on YouTube, I think it always tries to put it to like a square
Yeah,
picture.
YouTube kind of screws it.
I don't think you can save it.
KWL, appreciate you being here, brother. Have a good weekend.
Hey, a 10 bomb from Gil. What's up, Gil?
Gil.
Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're getting over that Thursday night letdown. Hope everybody's getting over that. I feel like we got together and talked about it, Mike. I feel like everybody here It was a little bit cathartic for everybody. It was good. I think it was good to get this out and to look at things and see a positive spin on a atrocious game.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to talk it out sometimes, right?
Jay Cruz.
Jay's just out here being a troll right now.
Jay.
It's okay, Jay.
Hey, appreciate the 2, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Dude,
We'll put that in the Get to Florida fund.
Yeah, I need to get down there, man. I wanted to get down there. You know, Steve knows this already, but we have some friends here in Louisville, and they just moved to Florida 1 week before that hurricane hit the other day. I was like, welcome to Florida, baby. But you know what? They're trying to convince me to get down there, and I'm like, I'm a beach bum at heart. Like, I really am. Yeah. I don't have the beach bod, though. I wish I had that six-pack.
Have a good one, JT. Go kick ass on Call of Duty, brother.
Yeah, brother. I'm going to go ahead and roll this thing. Let's give away a poster. Let's go.
Let's do it.
It says it's got somebody. Who do we got? By the way, if you guys win a poster and you already have one, you can donate it to somebody else. Oh.
Angela Leak.
A lady wins. Yes, the ladies get represented in the win column finally.
Heck
Angela Leak has won the giveaway. Angela, just message allchiefedup@gmail.com with your address and your name and your whatever you want to give, and we'll send it out.
Your blood type and...
Yeah, might need to know that. I don't know. They ask for a lot nowadays.
No, for real. Just send your shipping address and we'll get that shipped out to you. So congrats.
Yeah, and again, I've still got everybody's posters. We're getting them out soon. I just had to wait on Amazon to ship it. I had to put them all together. I've still got to print out all the labels, but I'm going to get them out as soon as I can. But since we give away posters so much, I'm like, daggone it, I'm just going to wait till I give away all 20 and just ship them all at the same time. But I won't. I'll try to get them out quick. I'm sorry. But yeah, Steve, had a good time tonight, man. I had a good time. I had fun breaking it down. I'm glad everybody liked the breakdowns. I'm glad you liked the breakdowns because you always tell me it might not be boring. The breakdowns are boring.
Don't put me to sleep, Michael. Now, special shout out to Wayne, Casey, Enrique, Night Haunter, HD Chiefs fan, Stephen James, Cobra Kai Ty, Chief Kelsey, JT, Don't Run, Brenda Pike, Jack Richards, Jeremiah, Jay Cruz, Heath, Scott, and that inside ass itch, Gil.
Best name, by the way.
Hey, all you guys, appreciate the donos. Yeah, like we were saying, we're trying to do this full time, man. We're trying to build this thing up so we can put all the efforts into the channel. We put a lot of time into it right now, and it's like
too much.
Yeah, we're trying to get there. We're grinding, we're getting there, but we appreciate the donos. It all goes back to the channel, and that's just being able to put more effort into it. Giving you guys better content, more content, everything. So definitely appreciate you guys. I had a good night too. You guys take it easy and be positive. Be positive because next, like a week from tomorrow at noon Central Time, we're gonna beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and get back on track, baby.
Oh yeah, we are. You guys have fun watching football tomorrow, and just know if the Bengals lose, we're gonna hammer them.
We're going to go troll them.
We're trolling them. Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.